And the broadcast has schmingly dingly began. Hello, Internet people. I am joined by Nicolas Cage, who will be playing the role of Pat. Say hi, Pat.
Penis. I got that part down.
Yeah, you're nailing it. I mean, yes, Pat, you said penis really well, and you are secretly not Nicolas Cage in a
Yeah.
Pat suit.
Could you imagine if people out there found that out? This is what I'm doing with my time.
Honestly, I would, if I just walked into my house one day and Nicolas Cage was just sitting on the couch,
He seemed. It
I
does
don't
seem like
think
the
I'd
type
bat
that
an
would
eye,
happen.
man. Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
would say,
think
yeah,
that
he just show up in people's houses for no reason.
I'd see him there and be like, Nicolas Cage, and he'd be like, yes, Neo. Because I guess this is how Nicolas Cage sounds in my mind. Uh, what are you doing
And he
on my
knows who you are.
couch? And then he'd kill me. By the way, I cannot tell you how many times I have erased this save file on SpongeBob and then just 100%ed it again. I don't know if that makes me a loser. Very well might, chat. But,
At the bottom of your stream, it says, it says on the, it says, give Dr. Knealetapus feedback. Okay, what happens? I click on this. Let this
I,
creator know what you love most about the channel, and we'll share it with them anonymously. Well, I just told him what I'm doing, so.
you just
It
write, I
says,
wish that you had Pat in your videos more.
yeah. It says skill, dedication,
I
humor,
got neither of those.
responsiveness, reliability. Mm.
Well, out of all of this, I've
Mm-hmm.
got the humor down.
Mm-hmm. Yes. We will click on that. Submit feedback. I feel like this is one of those where you don't even get this information at all. It just kind of, it's one of those like worthless things that
Twitch just holds on to it and hides it.
yeah, they just make you feel like you did something. Like I helped. Like no.
I mean, I feel like if anybody did critique my channel or give me feedback, I
Yep.
think the only thing I'd get is put your cat in more videos. I mean, there's plenty to correct, but like, I don't know.
That is a question. Has Mort ever appeared on screen in any of your videos where you're on screen?
Yeah, I've done a couple of face cam
Intentionally, or did he just
reviews.
kind of show up?
Bit of both. There's a ton where I'm just doing the video and Mort will jump up and want some love. I've actually had to pause recordings to give him pets before, because if he jumps up and you don't pet him, he'll start meowing at you, and that completely ruins the video. It's adorable, but it completely ruins the video. So a lot of times I'll have to like pause and pick him up and pet him. But while I'm doing that, I'll just keep the camera on, and occasionally I'll just cut to me just petting him and going, "You're a little bitch," or something like that. So it's kind of intentional and unintentional in a weird way. But such is the way of comedy, and such is the way of cat.
You think Nickelodeon would do this with more of their older games, like remake them? Because I mean, this turned out well for them. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, I'm pretty sure this sold well. I I don't. I gotta be honest. I don't
Yeah,
actually know how it sold, but like, this is a good game. If kids would have played it, I could see a lot of kids getting into it.
oh look something. Is there? I wonder if there's a way to find that out.
I have no idea.
How much a game's? I mean, usually
Usually
they
if a
don't really give
game
that
is like
out.
a smash success, you just kind of hear
Yeah.
about it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously God of War was like a big hit.
Mm-hmm.
I believe God of War broke a record or something for the most pre-ordered title or some shit.
SpongeBob Battle Key Battle. Oops.
Do 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 do. Some of this music is hypnotic, man. Like, I feel like on my deathbed, I'm still gonna have some of the songs in this game stuck in my head. And it would be really creepy if the last thing I, like, hear before I close my eyes for the final time is do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do. And just SpongeBob's laugh as I fade into oblivion. Or reach nirvana. I don't know. Has anyone ever tried meditating while watching SpongeBob? Maybe that's the key. Maybe that's how we find out the answers to humanity's
Holy
big questions.
shit.
What happened? Are you dead?
SpongeBob SquarePants Battle Bikini Bottom Rehydrated sales surpassed 2 million copies. Jesus Christ.
Okay, that's pretty good. It's not bad at all. That's probably why they're making the new one, right? Like
Is that what? I almost forgot about that till you mentioned it. Yeah, I think it's like it's a new game of this type.
It has been in the back of my head for a while now. However,
I remember we couldn't figure out what the hell it was at first till I had to look it up.
Well, I believe after you did look it up, because the trailer was fucking hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
I believe after you looked it up, we discovered it was another platformer game with levels and stuff, which is really what I think a SpongeBob game should be. Just because this one and the SpongeBob movie game were both really good. Like, I honestly wish they'd just go ahead and remake the SpongeBob movie game too, because while I don't think it is
Like
while I don't think it is as good as this game, it is really good still. Like, the only problem with it's basically just more levels. They focus a lot more on, like, horde battles, which is not great. But, like, it's more levels of this game. It's basically a DLC pack, and I want it. With new power-ups, too. Honestly, it has some really cool stuff. I wish they'd remake that one. But you were saying, my fine man?
that I actually do have that SpongeBob the movie game. I can't remember if it's the movie game. No, it's the the hell was that one? Was it Truth or Be Squared? Is that the name of that one?
Truth or Squared, yeah.
Truth or Squared, yeah.
That was like, oh god, what was Truth or Squared? Fucking, I believe Truth or Squared was a celebration thing. Like, I'm pretty sure SpongeBob had like an anniversary of some sort. And they did Truth or Squared, where they got in all of these celebrities, including LeBron James and Robin Williams, to all make cameos and be in a SpongeBob episode. And apparently a lot of them did it just because they liked SpongeBob, which I respect. Because if somebody came to me and was like, hey, Neil, you want to be in a Marvel movie? I'd just be like, yeah. And then if they were like, okay, here's your paycheck, I'd be like, I'm getting paid?
Yeah.
Like, I know there are some people out there who's like, oh, I'm with Marvel just for the money. I'd love to show up and play some stupid D-list Marvel villain or hero and just get like a small cameo. Like, I don't know, I could play Toad. That could be my magnum opus. If you had to play one Marvel character, who would you play, Pat? But it has to be someone insignificant that you can just cameo as. It can't be like It can't be that you're the next Wolverine.
I don't know.
Die. No. Fuck off. By the way, shout out to the 3 people watching this stream. You are all sexy. Especially you. Oh, 4 people are watching the stream now. But unfortunately, that 4th person wasn't in when I gave the compliment, so that 4th person doesn't get to be sexy. I like to find out it's Elvish or Skylar or someone. You're still racking your brain about the Marvel question, aren't you?
Well, I'm trying to think of like a...
I'm trying to think of one for you too.
I'm looking at like a list of characters.
You could play Black
ones.
Cat.
I'm trying like...
You could pull off the leather outfit. You could be Black Cat. I believe in you, Pat. 5 people.
Let's see. See, I know I would play like a ridiculous character, just like one of those where it's like they'd show up and they'd get...
I got the perfect one for you.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy Cap, or whatever the fuck his name is. The dude with the hat that briefly ends up in Deadpool's head. You could be him. He becomes a villain at one point. And he's definitely like a D-list character that you could just kind of cameo as. There's a ton of X-Men characters that are just kind of blink and you'll miss it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Wow, 7 people in the chat now. Thanks for the turnout, guys. This is pretty good. What'd you say, Pat? Christy has redeemed the funny number.
God,
Nice.
these characters are cool. There you go. Well, he's too... Actually, I could... Ooh. Being Swarm would be kind of fun, but I think he's not too big.
You want to be a Nazi bee? That's awesome.
A bunch of bees, yes.
Yeah, and they're also Nazis.
Yep. That, or I could be this,
I want to change my answer. I want to be Swarm now. It's over, Captain America.
There's also this clown-like character who's kind of like Deadpool. I don't know if you remember his name, Slapstick. He's literally like a cartoon.
I have the vaguest
like
memory of Slapstick. I kind of remember him. Chat, we're talking about very obscure Marvel characters that we hope Marvel will give pity on and let us play them. I picked Toad from the X-Men. I can be Toad.
I'm looking through a bunch of Nickelodeon games.
Mm-hmm.
There's a surprising amount, well, not really surprising, I guess, but early on, there's a surprising amount of Ren and Stimpy games.
I was raised on Nickelodeon games. Not Ren and Stimpy specifically.
Actually, the very first Nickelodeon game was a Ren and Stimpy game.
Really? I didn't know that.
It was on the original Game Boy.
I played an assload of SpongeBob games.
I didn't realize there was a Rocko's Modern Life game.
Neither did I.
It's on the SNES. It should have been around that era.
Where's that Let's Play, Skylar? Where the fuck is your Rocko's Modern Life Let's Play?
There's only one Are You Afraid of the Dark game. That's a shame. I mean, that Are You Afraid of the Dark would be like perfect for like a episodic type. Mm-hmm. Not that type, but like a... I'm not sure how they...
Oh, did I hit the button? I did. I'm glad you're here in the chat, Christy. The streams are naked without you. You are the close of my whole operation.
Let's see. Some Rugrats games. I know there's a lot of those.
I played a shit ton of those. I remember...
Blue's Clues game.
I played those too. Blue's Clues was my shit when I was little. I had a ton of Blue's Clues computer games, a couple on the
I will say that it actually makes me happy that the new Blue's Clues, the new Blue's Clues is actually good. Like, oh, they actually paid attention to what made the original good.
I watched one episode, and I was like, okay. And then I, left. I was like, I just wanted to see if this was good. It's fine. It's okay. And then I left it to the children of this nation, you know? Like, the next generation, if you will.
See, that's what I do anytime I hear something about like a show that was like a continuation or something of an older one. I always gotta check it out because it's like, did they fuck it up?
Well, Blue's Clues had such, like, a clear formula. Like,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, the only way to fuck it up, really, is to completely change the formula. And they
Mm-hmm.
didn't do that.
The very
So, yeah, it's
first,
fine.
yeah. The very first SpongeBob game, I knew this. It was the SpongeBob SquarePants: Legend of the Lost Spatula,
I did not know that.
which was on a Game Boy, which was on the Game Boy Color.
I thought it was something to do with the Flying Dutchman. The Flying Dutchman game was actually kind of a precursor to this. There was a SpongeBob platformer game before Battle for Bikini Bottom, and it is famously awful.
The Hey Arnold game.
Yep.
Hey Arnold, the movie.
Oh, oops.
You know what's funny? I almost forgot there was a movie before the other one they did not too long ago.
To our 5 beautiful people in the chat, did you guys watch Hey Arnold or Nickelodeon? What were some of your
I
guys'
just old.
favorite shows? I watched Hey Arnold religiously. Hey Arnold was like surprisingly good. Like,
You know, it's that Hey Arnold's one of those shows. If you watch it now, it's like, God, all this shit hits me different.
it
I
sneaks
feel
up on you.
it. Well, it does because what it does, it's like it makes you remember being a kid, but it also makes you start recognizing the adults' problems. It's like, oh God.
Hey Arnold has a show is kind of impossible to describe for me because legitimately it's just like a fun comedy involving all of these kids and these characters. But once they
But
start
then,
like once you know the characters and once they've established all this
right.
shit, they start fucking with you.
Well, yeah, because like they've dealt with stuff where like they've dealt with like people being addicted to things.
Mm-hmm.
They use chocolate in that, but still, it's like that's an addiction. They did depression a lot.
Adolf Hitler appears in an episode.
They've done like had some good scary episodes. They had
A Christmas special I watch every year and cry every year.
that special was very odd that you never saw his daughter again, Mr.
Mm.
Wins. Actually, or do you? I think maybe you do. I don't remember.
I will not spoil it for those in the chat who has not seen it because, like, you know, there's some shit that I will just spoil willy-nilly because I don't give a shit. But, like, with this, people gotta see this. It's kind of just a very sad, yet very hopeful ending. I'll say that. It's very sad, but I don't want to spoil it, but...
There's a few Jimmy Neutron video games out that.
Oh, I played Jimmy Neutron games all the time. I played Jet Fusion. I played Attack of the Twonkies, which were these
There's
like
also
cute
a few
little gremlin-esque creatures.
Yeah, there's also a few Fairly Odd Parents games.
Yeah,
There
I
was
played
that
one of those,
time
too.
around like 2003, 2004 where that's all video games were. Basically, was like movie, like licensed stuff.
Mm. Oh yeah, and you know, a lot of it was shit, but there were a couple gems in there, and I'm glad that like things like SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom are getting their time
Yeah,
in
here
the
it
sun.
is. The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius Jet Fusion.
Of the Jimmy Neutron games, the one I played the most of was the movie game. And that one was really fun because here's the thing, Jimmy Neutron as a character really works in video games because his whole thing is he makes inventions. So all you got to do to make a good Jimmy Neutron game is come up with some really cool invention ideas and then design some levels that incorporate puzzle solving that you need to use those inventions for. Do that, you got a pretty kick-ass Jimmy Neutron game, and luckily they succeeded at that a few times. Especially in the movie game where you could literally get Jimmy's rocket and just start flying around the maps. That shit was cool as fuck. God, I just wish someone would go through Nickelodeon's old category. And category? Fucking I don't think category is the right word, but I wish that someone would go through all of the shit they make and find the good ones and bring them back. Because there's a lot of them. Mr.
I thought they
Krabs.
made like they had like a bunch of like party type games, like Mario Party type games that had Nickelodeon characters in them.
Yeah, Lights, Camera, Pants. Or it's Lights, Action, Pants or something. Essentially what that game was is it was like a Mario Party style party game. But the thing that you were competing for, like the prize you get for winning, is you're essentially doing all these mini games has an audition to be in the Mermaid Man movie. And you go through all these different levels, and each one has like a different guy in charge. So one of them, Bubble Bass, is in charge to pick who's going to play the chef. And then Squilliam Fancy Son is in charge of who's going to play an orchestra conductor. So you got to do all these things, and if you win, your character, whoever you were playing as, whether it be Plankton, Mr. Krabs, or somebody, they get to have a cutscene. And honestly, it's pretty fucking cool. I like the premise. I wish it would be redone today. With maybe not SpongeBob characters, but maybe like just in general, get a bunch of funny characters with personalities together and have them compete to be in a movie. Kind of get some Total Drama Island-esque characters with like very eccentric personalities. That game would work great. I want to make that. Somebody give me money so I can make things.
Call up Disney. Hey Disney, give me money so I can make things. You won't miss it. I mean, they wouldn't notice.
I mean, Netflix is famously the one who just gives anybody
true.
a show.
Except they notice if that went to shit.
Oh yeah, Netflix will be the first to greenlight your show, but they'll cancel it if it's not a hit.
Disney would hold on to it. They just kind of put it somewhere where you have to like dig for it.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like even if we had like a bomb Marvel movie, it would still probably get a sequel because at this point they just need to like have certain characters do certain things. Christy comments real fast. I remember the old computer games they had for SpongeBob. Are you talking about the point-and-click adventure games for SpongeBob? Because I love those too.
Let's see. Oh, this is Avatar: The Last Airbender game. I remember the one on 360 being infamous because the achievements were so easy to get.
I have never played an Avatar game, but my cousin has informed me. I don't know which one this is, so I can't tell you. But my cousin my cousin has informed me that one of them is good.
There's an LT Gray game? I didn't know that.
I didn't get it,
LT
but
Gray.
I did know about LT Gray games.
I didn't know there was a Zoe 101 game. Man, they literally made anything back then.
Nickelodeon was popular, man. It still is, but nowhere near as big as it used to be.
Was it a Drake and Josh game? Or...
I played
that. Josh, we all love Josh. Josh
I like
fantastic.
Josh. I feel
everyone else on the show is fantastic except for.
I feel a little weird about like I'm not gonna go into super big detail about everything that happened with Drake Bell, but I definitely feel a little awkward about it because back in the day, one of my big jokes. Because, like, when I was going to church and stuff, like, people would be like, oh, Neil's the Christian kid. And I would always I would always respond, yeah, I'm a Christian, but my one true God is Drake Bell. And there are videos of me saying that. So now I feel really weird about it.
They made a Naked Brothers band game. Oh my god.
They did. It's I believe part of it is a rhythm game. It was on
Mm.
DS, right?
Yep. Oh yeah, I remember Attack and the Power of Juju. That was a show.
I watched that. That came out after the games, I
Actually,
believe.
yeah, because it was a game first. That was a weird choice.
Christy says the really stupid SpongeBob computer games.
She's probably talking
Which
about
one are
like the
those?
ones that were like on like the websites and stuff, but they weren't
Oh,
really well put together, so they just kind of.
okay. Oh, those. You see, I'm talking about you have to buy a disc, and it's
There's
like
a lot
a
of
point-and-click adventure game.
there's a lot of Dora the Explorer games. That's not surprising.
Honestly, dude, if I ever get to the point where I'm like a professional streamer, I'm gonna get what's it called? Uh, that thing that lets you stream older games like GameCube stuff and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what that device is called.
Well, that's a
An
lot of iCar.
emulator, maybe.
Uh-huh. Or a
But
capture card.
I'm gonna buy one of those, and we're just gonna go through all the SpongeBob point-and-click adventure games and all the King's Quest games. I would not mind at all if I just became the point-and-click streamer.
Nickelodeon Dance. What the fuck is this?
I remember this. They
There's a
had,
lot of. There's like a baseball Nickelodeon game too. I remember that.
yeah, Powdered Toast Man was in that. And since I didn't watch Ren and Stimpy, that was actually my introduction to Powdered Toast Man.
There's a Victorious game. It was on the 360. The
I
fuck?
believe that one's karaoke.
Yeah. Uh. Team Umizoomi. I remember that show. That was on Nick Jr.
The guy who played Joe is in that. In the world
The
that's not so far away.
Penguins of Madagascar. Dr. Blowhole returns
Zoomy
again.
City.
I remember that.
Dr. Blowhole was fun to play as in the computer Nickelodeon fighting game. The one that predates All-Star Brawl.
Mm-hmm.
Christy, did you watch a lot of Nickelodeon as a kid? I think I asked something similar to this earlier.
I didn't realize there was a Legend of Korra game.
No
I
one
shouldn't
in
be
the
surprised.
chat answered. The Legend of Korra game might be the one my cousin was talking about.
It's actually on PS4.
Well, the thing that's interesting about Korra as a character, in comparison to Aang, is unless you're going right at the end of his story, Aang's only supposed to know airbending. Whereas when Korra starts her show, she's already learned water, earth, and firebending.
Mm-hmm.
Christy grew up on Fairly Odd Parents and SpongeBob. Let's all
The
pour
newest-
one out for that awful Fairly Odd Parents remake that's going on right now.
The newest Nickelodeon game, as of now, is a app game called Nickelodeon Extreme Tennis.
What's extreme about it?
I don't know. Oh, did you happen to see the? Because as you know, that new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game came out.
Oh yeah, Skylar's been telling me about that.
They are releasing
Hmm?
after that. Well, I think it's coming up soon. They're releasing. I can't find what the hell it's called.
Fuck you.
Let's see. If I can find it. No, I don't want to know what the first data.
Chat, not even 30 minutes in and we've already almost completed this fucking thing. I am a speedrunner now, and I am gonna speedrun the shit out of this game. I do know a couple speedrunner tricks for this game, but that is not what we are doing.
Tired.
I honestly don't like speedrunning video games that much.
Teenage
I like
Mutant
to
Ninja
enjoy it.
Turtles. The Cowabunga collection.
Mhm.
Be released August 30th. Oh my god.
Doesn't it include like all the old ones, like Turtles in Time and shit?
13 of their games. Gimme. Now.
Game.
Let's see. Oh, they're not kidding. It is the arcade game, both of them. It's the NES games, the Super
Turtles
Nintendo
in
ones,
Time.
even the Game Boy ones. Holy fuck!
Here's the thing. I have a Turtles video game I've been trying to get now for a little bit. And the game is called Mutants in Manhattan or Mutants Take Manhattan. Fucking this game is essentially just like a explore the area, kill all the bad guys, and then fight the boss game. But it looks really fun if you play it with like more than one person. Kind of like how Avengers can be.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to get this with Skylar. The problem is it's not in the Play Store anymore. Like, the only way I'm going to be able to get this game is if I can track down a physical copy. And it's not exactly common anymore. No, motherfucker! You fucking dickhead, son of a bitch, jellyfish.
It said it will also include... This collection will also include loads of extras using imagery from the original cartoons, comics, and other historic TMNT media content in a compiled museum. Holy shit. Additionally, never before seen development art and sketches. Damn. Dude, they're serious about this.
I think they're doing kind of what they did with the Mega Man collections.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because even the cover of it has like every version of them, even like the original comic look.
B. Harris, welcome in. B. Harris comments tit. I appreciate the tit, but mostly we comment penis here. Just so you know. But welcome in, B. Harris. If that is how you pronounce that name, I apologize. It's a lot of consonants. I could call you Riss. Oh, B. Harris commented a penis and said my bad. Thank you. Thank you so much. Christy says, I mean you guys do. Christy, there is nothing wrong with commenting penis in the name of our Lord.
Wow. I just looked up Cartoon Network because, we talked about Nickelodeon, so...
Oh, shit, you just went down a rabbit hole with that. There's so many Cartoon Network games. Jesus.
Well, no, it's weird because the very first game was in the year 2000. I'm like, really? Like I know Nickelodeon's older, but that's it?
Well, I thought there was like a Powerpuff Girls game before then. See? There's another penis. Christy, you cannot stop the revolution. Skylar's probably dead.
He's probably jerking it.
Hey, if Skylar's jerking it, then that is a noble pursuit.
You will tell us in detail how it goes.
And we just imagine if that was our friendship. Skylar just texts me every time he jerks it, and he's like, so this time I was watching this porn, and this is how it went. I timed myself. I'm making good on time.
See a lot. Oh my god, I remember this game. I think I do. Yeah. No. I don't remember. So there was like it was like a browser game for Cartoon Network, but I don't remember what the fuck it was called.
It was like browser game. You mean the MMO they did?
No, it was a browser game. It was like you were at like it was an overhead view, and it's like you were at. It might be this one. It's called like Summer Resort, where you're playing as a character. You go around and do different things. Try to look at the screenshots. Yeah, that's it. Yep.
I remember the MMO they did. I am ashamed that me and Skylar... Skylar, did we play that together? I know I played it with Sebastian.
Because there was Cartoon Network Racing. And then there was...
That makes sense. You gotta rip off Nintendo as soon as possible.
Cartoon Network Universe Fusion Fall.
Fusion Fall was cool. It was a very interesting story. Honestly, I had a lot of fun with Fusion Fall. I'll be real.
Oh, I remember Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion XL. I remember that game. That was their
Ah, fuck my nose.
So that was their original first attempt at a.
A smash like.
Yep. See, now here's the thing. Do you think they should do that again?
Another Smash
I
game with
think, like,
Cartoon Network characters.
I know some of their characters are in the
Hmm.
multiverses, but I think they should do their own.
Well, that was kind of my hope. Like, I wasn't hoping for a Warner Brothers fighting game. I was hoping for a Cartoon Network fighting game.
I mean, they still could do it, because, I mean, because they have a lot of characters they could use.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the leaked list, it seems like they're mostly sticking to the movies. But not even kidding. They could just do a whole nother fighting game that's just Cartoon
Damn it.
Network characters. Or if they do, like, because I heard a rumor, and I don't know if this is true, but I heard a rumor that they plan to do multiverses content for years.
Mhm.
Like, legitimately, they're just going to keep updating the roster until the game stops being popular. If that ends up happening, I think we'll see a lot of Cartoon Network characters in there. It's just kind of sad we probably won't see any of the ones I love. Like
Let's see.
I don't know if they would put Chowder into multiverses. I think he's a little too unknown. But I love that show. God damn it, I love that show.
Let's see.
Christy, when we hang out, I'm showing you Chowder, and you will fucking love it.
Excuse me. Oh, okay. So for some weird reason, Cartoon Network splits up like the licenses, like they don't have them all together, like above this Cartoon Network games, because they have like Adventure Time, which there wasn't a ton of Adventure Time games, but there's a few.
Oh, Christy
I
has seen
played
Chowder.
I played actually I own the fuck's that one? The Adventure Time Explore the Dungeon because I don't know. That's the name of the game.
Mm. I played one Adventure Time game.
Then there's a Pirates of the Enchiridion, which I own that.
I apologize, chat, that I'm just standing here. Christy
Don't ask
sent
me.
me a word in Spanish, and now I have to Google what it is.
Probably says penis.
It is Porque, porque, I believe, uh, which means why in Spanish. That makes sense because I told her I was going to eat her. Which I will, motherfucker. You were so close and yet so
Oh, here's
far
the
with the
problem.
pronunciation. Listen, I can't pronounce my own language correctly. In the event I become bilingual and am able to speak another language, I guarantee you everything I say will be a butchering of what the fuck? Why did I die? Sorry, Chad, I was making a joke, but then I died for seemingly no reason. What the fuck is up with that?
Magic.
I was just walking and then. Oh. There's a puddle here, and it's almost invisible. Yeah, I just didn't even see that. That's bullshit. That, why is that there? Okay, whatever. Guess I'll just move on with my life. Skylar comments he did not play Fusion Fall because he didn't have the internet. So it was Sebastian who was my Fusion Fall buddy then.
Hmm.
I guess of all the Cartoon Network shows, the only show that this is actually a show that like came back around. Like there's only one show in my existence where I watched it as a kid and I was like, I don't like this. I don't think this is that good. And then as an adult I went back and I was like, I'm an idiot. This was great. and that is Cartoon Network's Generator Rex. When you go back and watch that as an adult, it kind of hits different, and the themes feel bigger. I really like Generator Rex. I like Ben 10 more, but I like Generator Rex.
Speaking of Spanish, for some reason the PlayStation told Skylar told him the Spanish name of SpongeBob when he saw you streaming. Skylar, you become Spanish.
What is SpongeBob's Spanish name?
I don't know.
I guess I want to know what the word sponge is in Spanish. Die.
Was Powerpuff Girls Relish Rampage? I think I'm in that game.
I have played one Powerpuff Girl game. I don't remember which one, but I remember playing as Buttercup. Blossom.
So that says Power Rangers license. Oh god. We're gonna be here forever. Look at all those games.
I mean, I don't actually know how many.
Christ.
I don't actually know how many Power Rangers games there are. Don't know if that makes me a bad fan or anything, but
the very first one was in 1994. It was called Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Okay.
It was on the Game Boy SNES. Oh yeah, I have that game actually.
Okay, so they did start with the Mighty Morphin team. That's interesting to me, because that means that, like, that's
then they made a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie. Which movie?
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers only had one movie, and it is the
featuring
one with
Ivan,
who's in it.
Then they did Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the Fighting Edition. The fuck is that?
Is that a fighting game?
Yes. You can choose among 8 playable characters.
That's not a bad roster for all the way back then.
You can play as the Zords. Oh, this is like a kaiju fighting game.
There was a, this was actually legitimately a good game. There was a Dino Thunder game where essentially you did play as all of the Zords, and you could play as the Megazord too. It was really fucking fun, because you got to, like, go on missions and fight creatures, and you had all these different robo-dinosaurs that all did different things that you could kind of mix and match, and they'd have their own specific missions and stuff. It was cool. I don't know if Skylar played that game, but I definitely did. And what was even cooler, because they did not have to do this, but they just decided to do it, is once you finish the main story, there is and this doesn't have a story to it. There is no voice acting in this. But after you finish the main story, you unlock the Ninja Storm Rangers, which was the previous season, and you get to go do a bunch of missions with their Zords. And that's the coolest shit in the world to me. Skylar says, actually, it was Portuguese for some reason, and his name was Bob Esponja. Corsa Quadrada. Quadrada.
Okay, so in this fighting game, it says they have the Power Rangers Zords, such as the Thunder Megazord, the Mega Tiger Zord, the Ninja Megazord, the Shogun Megazord.
This was Mighty Morphin season either 2 or 3.
Or some of their known villains at the time, such as Lip Syncer.
Don't remember that fucker.
Silverhorns. Lord Zed and Goldar.
I recognize 2 of them. Well, no Pudgy Pig, no Pumpkin Rapper.
Then after that, they had Saban's Power Rangers Zeo versus the Machine Empire. Pardon me? Who the fuck's the Machine Empire?
Yes, guy, the Dino Thunder Zord game. That is not the one we are currently talking about, but that is the one I was talking about earlier.
And they had a racing game, of course they did.
I didn't know they had a racing game.
It was Saban's Power Rangers Zeo.
That's ironic to me because Power Rangers Turbo was the following season. And that one's all about cars.
And they had Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. I remember that one.
The signal is calling.
Yeah, I just realized
is falling.
I just realized as these games move on, it's like they suddenly had to put Saban in the title. Like
Marvel does that too. I don't know why.
Then they had a Saban's Power Rangers Time Force game.
Anybody out there who wants to have like a kick-ass afternoon, look up all the theme songs to Power Rangers. There's only one bad one. And that is Operation Overdrives.
Dino Thunder was on GameCube and PS2.
5 Rangers looking towards the sky in 5 ways. 5 Rangers walking through the sun for 5 days.
Power Rangers Super Legends. The fuck kind of name is that?
Aren't you already super if you're a legend?
Oh, here we go. It says, Lord Zedd has reappeared and is hiding in a hidden dimension where he interferes with the time stream, in an attempt to destroy the Power Rangers permanently.
You know, fun fact, Lord Zedd interfered with the time stream like 7 different times in his run. He turned the Power Rangers into kids. He, like, rewrote history at one point.
It says Omega Ranger takes on Zedd by gathering a force of Power Rangers. Omega Ranger? Is that somebody?
Omega Ranger. Wait, that's SPD.
This is that what this is?
Yeah, There's a Power Rangers SPD video game where they fight Lord Zedd?
Then there's a Power Rangers Samurai game.
I gotta look this up, actually. This is lore shattering.
Then Power Rangers Super Samurai. Power Rangers Megaforce.
Just thought of a cheesy pickup line I could have said there instead of what I actually said. Sorry, that was just me talking to myself. Power Rangers SPD video game. Okay, there is a video game. Is there? Oh, okay. Well, I guess not. Wait, there is. Power Rangers video. Did you get the name of the game, Pat, that had Zedd in it? And the Omega Ranger?
Power Rangers Super Legends.
Alright, Power Rangers Super Mega Force popped up. Legends. Okay. Oh, that's neat. This appears to be a crossover video game. Because I see Jason in the video, but I also see the I also see the Ninja Storm Rangers and an Operation Overdrive member. So yeah, I guess this was a crossover game. That's cool. God damn it, now I want to play this, even though I know it's probably shitty.
I forgot there was a Minecraft pack for Power Rangers.
Oh yeah. It's not that great and only covers the Mighty Morphin, which is why I didn't buy it. Tommy specifically didn't look good in it. Chat, I shall start us off tonight by seeing how gay I am.
Black box.
100% gay. Jesus. Top that, bitches. I'm gay as fuck. Apologies to any females who may be in love with me. Also, hi, Skylar. Welcome in.
He hasn't loaded in yet.
Oh, has he not?
No, I'm looking at his little, the
little blinky blinky.
Yeah, the talkie thing blinking in and out. So it's loading in.
By the way, chat, that is something Christy has learned this lesson, but that is something the rest of my chat must learn too.
Oh.
Skylar failed to connect.
Sometimes,
instead of saying what things actually are, I will just say something else and repeat the word twice, like the jumpy jumpies. Yo, Christy is 61% gay. Not bad, not bad. Also, I think when I said to all female people who are in love with me, I apologize, I'm gay now, Christy commented, "Aw, man." Which is funny. Or that may have been in response to Skylar and not being able to join the stream. I don't know. Skylar is dead. Hopefully Sky will be able to join. Sometimes there's just issues with the connection process.
Mm-hmm.
I would very much like it if his ass was in here. But just his ass, not the rest. So what was that? You said something about a black box? Or something?
Well, on the stream, I saw the black box appear on the screen because, you know, Sony apparently thought that was a good idea.
Oh, I thought you were talking
Never
about... Okay, I see. I thought you were talking about Power Rangers. No. Because in, I'm gonna show my nerd off for a minute. I hope that's okay, chat. In Power Rangers Samurai, there's like this power-up thing they gotta get called the Black Box, because they couldn't think of a more creative name. It doesn't even look like a box. But, yeah, so I guess I thought there might have been a Power Rangers Samurai game with that title. Oh no! Fuck you, robot! Stop it! Skylar is 76% gay, so that's gayer than Christy. I'll take it. Christy, you gotta work on being gayer. You know what I love about my streaming situation, Pat? I'm pretty sure everybody on YouTube has no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. If I end up uploading this VOD. Fuck you, robot! What are some classic video games you guys played as kids, chat? I would love to hear. Do you have any classics that you like hold in your head like this is the best? Christy says, "Nah, I'm good liking dudes."
But we're so boring. We don't got boobies.
Dudes do famously suck.
That's true.
Humans in general kind of suck, though.
Skylar, don't you dare give up. Better try again. Get your ass in here. Not now, but when you deem your us getting your I can't even talk. When you would like to grace us with your presence if you feel we're worthy. And also if your PlayStation lets you. If your PlayStation deems it worthy. That's what I'm trying to say.
What is that picture Sky did? Oh! The flag. Christy comments that her classic games were Smash Bros. Brawl, Donkey Kong Country Returns, Mario Kart Wii, and Mario and Luigi Dream Team. Here's the thing. I'm gonna say something. And then if people want to fight me, we can fight. I did not love Mario Kart for the Wii. I found it confusing. And I did not... Now here's the thing though, and I want to clarify this. I did not play Wii with a GameCube controller. I did not play Wii with the nunchuck. I played Mario Kart
play
Wii
with a wheel?
With the fucking Wii wheel. And that shit sucked. Sky says he probably can't join because of his internet. That sucks, buddy. My classic games are very Nintendo focused as well. I would say Luigi's Mansion is absolutely on there. Paper Mario, The Thousand Year Door, and Super Paper Mario. Sometimes I wonder if I like Super Paper Mario more than The Thousand Year Door. Simpsons Hit and Run, and Super Mario Sunshine. I would say those are the games to make up a Neil's childhood. Not counting all the point and clicks I used to play, because those are in a whole separate category. I wish more game companies would do that, making the PC versions like point and click adventure games and stuff, but like, what are you gonna do? Where is Gary? Oh, there he is. Luigi's Mansion is my jam, all three of them, because Dark Moon was fun. I did not play Dark Moon, because by the time it came out, I no longer had a 3DS. But I have played Luigi's Mansion 3, and I will say, while I do not think it is as good as the original Luigi's Mansion, it's still fucking great. It's a really good game. I hope they make a fourth one. I really do. Neil, I will bring my 3DS. Well, okay, here we can play it. I hope so. My only issue with Luigi's Mansion 3, because I got to play it once. I think I played... Fun fact, Chris owned it. And, fucking... I'm saying fucking a lot tonight. I gotta reel that in. But, Chris had it, and he got stuck. And I was like, oh, I'm good at Luigi's Mansion. I can try. So I did a level for him. And the only problem I had with Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon is it was kind of samey. Like, you fought there were a bunch of boss fights where you fought spiders, and all of the ghosts kind of looked the same. There wasn't a lot of diversity there. But they really fixed that with 3, so I kind of forgive them for that. And I will say the Dark Moon has a lot of personality in it. I've always said that if, like, I ended up... Skylar says, you gotta fucking stap. I can't fucking stap saying fucking, I'm sorry. It's like second nature, man. You cannot tell a fish to stop swimming. But I've always said that in the event I got a job that required me to, like, travel, like if I was in a plane a lot or I had to, like, get in taxis a lot, I would totally buy a 3DS again. I would buy a 3DS, I would use my Switch more. If I was more mobile gaming would be my shit, I assure you. Can I stand here? I can. Good. I didn't finish this thought earlier. I've only actually played one Adventure Time video game. And it was like it was a detective-themed one, where you had to, like, find clues. and solve mysteries. But I have not finished that game because the walking in that game was not fun. So literally every time you took a step, it was like the slowest fucking thing in the world. And that ended up draining me. I also remember the level design not being the best in the world, and the writing was a little shoddy. But I don't want to just shit all over that game. For what it was okay. Like, it did its job. Where am I going here?
Penis.
I don't want to go to Penis Town.
You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do some tier lists. We're gonna do some rankings.
Christy says we... Sorry, I had to sneeze. And for some reason, when I sneezed, it hurt my throat. I am grabbing a drink real quick. Oh, I'm me again. Gay Monday, welcome. I am pleased to make your acquaintanceship.
They also followed you.
I noticed. I'm so excited.
When I get a switch. As Skylar said, when I get a switch, I want to smash.
Gay Monday says I love this game.
Hey, baby, you want to sing a book?
I played this game when I was a kiddo. And now that I am decidedly not a kiddo, I love playing the remake. But welcome in. We're going to do some tier lists. We're going to hang out. We're going to chat with you.
This is going to sound very odd. Might be mean to some... Not some people, but it might sound mean. This is a tier list we've done before. We're going to do it properly, though. And by that, as you know, we can be very hectic.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And
just pull out a rubber chicken. That's on
I figured
fire.
this time, because a lot of times with the rankings, we never get like a clear like answer, you know, like where it goes, because we don't decide.
Well, real fast, since I believe Gay Monday here is new, how about we do introductions again? I am Dr. Knealetapus. I am a zany, strange, demented little man. And I am joined by my good friend Pat here, who is not strange or demented. And that is why it is funny. Well, you are the keeper of lists. You are the herald.
Who's Harold?
Also,
Harold's in the basement.
I'm trying to think of more details about us I can give to a stranger.
Well, I mean, there is another person who may show up if his internet lets him.
Yeah, Sky could show up.
Because I will say you try it again, Skylar. Maybe it will work. You want. Because I've noticed. See, that's the thing. I've noticed that too. Like sometimes you'll have problems getting in a party. Other times it's fine. So it's very picky. But what we're gonna do?
Are there any Christy, I have a question. I wouldn't know this. Using the DS, because I didn't have a lot of friends who had DSs. When you use the DS, can you play together without having internet? Like, could you play with each other in the car and stuff like that? Because I would love to do some 2-player DS games with you. But I'm not sure if we would have internet all the time.
So, actually, is this the one I did before?
Oh, also, Gay Monday, you are among friends, you see. Because we are fine people. We are good people. We are sexy people, and we are gay people. Except for me, ironically. Oh, local play is a thing. Fucking sweet. So which tier list is this again, Pat?
This is Nickelodeon shows.
Okay.
So that can encompass that can be a lot of things.
Fuck you, robot.
All depends on what.
Game Mundi, what is your favorite level in this game? I remember there's a bunch of Nickelodeon shows, ironically, like I just didn't know about. Specifically some of their like older live action stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. I almost fell. Now fuck you, robot.
Okay. You'll find that list again.
Now I'm just imagining a situation, Christy, where we're hanging out. Kyle's with us. Kyle is listening to his music and having a good time, and we're just in the back playing Pokemon. In our own little universe of Pokey and the Mon.
Okay. So our rankings are for the tippy top. We have perfection, as you do. Then the tier below that we have awesome. So it basically would be almost perfect.
Then
could be
shitty
not
as
quite
fuck.
sure. And then we have great, which is like it's good. It's not bad, but it's not like.
I mean,
it's one of the great ones.
I think if you're in, maybe this is just how. Maybe this is just how I am as a person. Whenever I hear that something is great, I expect it to be like really, really good. That's just how I am. So it's weird to me that that's the third category down.
Then after great, we have good.
Did you ever listen to that song I told you to look up, Neil? Which one?
Then underneath good, we have it's okay. It's kind of eh.
And then you got shitty.
Then you got just a big fail at the very bottom.
Thought you were gonna say a big poop emoji. Because shitty. Die, you fuck! No! Oh, you fuckers. I completed the mission, and they killed me anyways. The horse. Firefly. Oh, yes, I did. I liked it. For me, because, like, there are two songs I would say are my favorite song. Misfits by Shinedown and Fireflies by Owl City. Because of that, I'm a little judgy whenever I hear covers of Fireflies. But I did like that one. I specifically really liked how the singer's voice sounded. He was really good. They did scream a little too much for me. But that's what happens when you do metal covers, and Fireflies and metal still sounded fucking awesome. So what is the first item on our tier list, Sir Patrick?
Our first show is what's this one called? 100 Deeds for Eddie McDowd. I remember the show. I don't think anyone else would.
I remember you talking about it. Isn't it about a guy who gets turned into a dog?
like about like a bully who gets turned into a dog and he has to do 100 good deeds to be turned back human.
I
I
think I saw one episode of the show. Weirdly enough, not on my own, but I believe it was shown to me uh, during a. So you know how when school is ending,
mhm,
uh, the last couple of days they don't really have stuff for you to do, so they just show movies.
mhm.
Uh, our library showed off that an episode of that show. How do I do this? Oh, okay.
I From what I recall, I think I don't recall much, so I think we just put it. I think I'm okay with putting it just okay because I don't remember much.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know shit about it.
Mm.
So my vote doesn't count here. Anything I don't know, I think automatically has to go to the lowest category because I don't know what it is. Um, but if you have a place you want to put it, I think that's wise.
Next up is the show 16. I don't remember much of this show.
This was on Nickelodeon?
Mhm.
Just so I'm sure, is it an animated cartoon show?
Yeah, it was on both channels because Cartoon Network didn't want it. For some reason, Nickelodeon took it, and they didn't play it that long either.
You see, that's so weird to me because I only watched it on Nickelodeon. I mean, on Cartoon Network. I'm 16, trying to find my way. Um, I
I don't
would
remember anything of it though.
I would put that in good. Like I would put that in fine. It wasn't the best thing in the world. It had a couple good episodes. Like it was funny. It was kind of just there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The,
Uh,
weirdly enough, in Total Drama Island, which I brought up earlier, they actually did a parody of the theme song for 16, and that was hilarious. Where? Hold on, I didn't get the sock. My bad.
Next up is Real Monsters. I
I
love
never
this show.
watched it.
I
The
huh.
closest I have come to seeing an episode of All Real Monsters was Ickis, the guy with the eyeballs, and Ublina.
Mhm.
They all cameoed in an episode of Rugrats.
I think I'll put it in. I'll put it in awesome. Not quite top, but it's up there.
The designs in that show look really cool. So, like,
Let's see.
I'm sure it's a great show. I just haven't seen it. Honestly, going back now and rewatching an old Nickelodeon show that I haven't seen might be cool. So if All Real Monsters is on a streaming service, I might do that.
Let's see.
By the way, Chad, I like to ask this every once in a while. Do you guys have shows you recommend? Because the two shows I am watching right now are Orville Season 3 and soon to be Beastars. But after I finish those, my list is officially empty for a little bit.
Next up is The Adventures of Kid Danger. I have never seen this show.
I watched it. It's
Mhm.
funny. Anohana. It's on Netflix. I've never heard of that show. Let me give it a Google. He joined.
Who?
Star-Lord, man. What's the show about? Oh, it's an anime. Boy, howdy, it's an anime. I don't watch a ton of animes, but I do watch a few. And I'm very excited for Beastars Season 2 because Skylar has talked it up a lot. So, I
Oh,
can't wait for it.
I think he's in. Ah.
You have
Is it
entered
in?
us.
Did he put it? Yes. He put it in. It is in, folks. How do you feel,
Skylar is
Skylar?
inside of my stream.
How do you feel?
Amazing.
God, can you imagine that's what you hear? It's like, how's it feel? God, that would be. I think it's so bad. I'm like, fuck.
How's it feel, baby? Pretty
Oh,
good.
amazing.
Pretty good.
Shit. Yeah, even that, I'd be like, shit.
It's pretty alright in here.
Damn it.
Feels okay.
I like hanging out in here. I might make it
You
a regular
did
thing.
okay. So, Kid Danger, is it okay or you think it's good?
Oh, I would put that in good. Look, that show is the stupidest shit in the world,
Mm-hmm.
but it knows it. It
Is
knows
that
The
the
advent-
animated one for
Yeah.
Henry
Oh.
Danger?
Oh,
Yeah.
then I would actually put that much lower. I thought that just was Henry Danger.
So put an okay then? I wouldn't call it a fail, would you
I
say,
mean-
or was it?
The one episode I saw featured Doc Brown and Marty McFly in it making a cameo, and it was kind of funny.
I
The,
remember them advertising that.
The Adventures of Pete and Pete. Now, this is a show I guarantee you I'm the only one that remembers it. Because this was like the late 90s, mid 90s, like when Nickelodeon tried to do anything they could.
Patrick,
So they
move
did.
your sweet ass.
So they did, no. So they did,
Not you, Pat.
no, my ass is staying where it is.
The show is apparently about a ghost.
Your ass only moves for your lover.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
That's why I said move, Pat.
Damn it.
I'm your lover now.
Damn it. Fuck shit.
I don't care if it's on the internet.
But The Adventures of Pete and Pete, that was like mid late 90s live action show about two brothers named Pete and Pete. Both brothers named Pete. And it was just like a slice of life type thing, which is an anime term, but you know. Except they got into weird, like they thought the ice cream man, who was a guy in a costume, they thought he was like trying to kill them for some reason. And they tried to...
What?
Yeah, they thought it was a whole conspiracy that he was trying to get all the kids for some reason. It's like, oh, good.
Guys, I think there might be a murderer outside.
Yeah,
You just
and
hear
also
the
there was a
fucking
random,
music.
creepy adult
That
would
kind
show
of
up.
reminds me of that
Yes.
that one Disney show that had that they were skaters. I don't remember what it was called.
Zeke and Luther?
Yes, that. That's kind of
But
that reminded me of.
what was the other? Oh, there's also one where this creepy adult would show up occasionally. He called himself Artie, the strongest man in the world. Who
I'm gonna
That's
need
Mark
him.
Henry.
I'm gonna need him to fight me before he can say that.
And then Pete, the younger Pete, had a drawn-on tattoo on his arm of a mermaid, of a woman. I think it was a mermaid. I don't remember. I can't remember her name. I think her name was Petunia, and supposedly she talked to him. I'm not making any of this up.
This
There's
show
Nickelodeon.
sounds like it was made
It's-
by people on drugs.
Actually, the Halloween episode is really good. It kind of takes a hint of that Goosebumps book, the one with all the characters with the pumpkin heads.
You know what my theory is,
I'll put
just
it in
hearing
there.
some of this shit? I have a
The
theory that
perfect line
one of the writers had a roommate that was always high on, like, fucking
Probably.
weed. And he just wrote down everything that his roommate said.
Let's see.
Mike, how are you doing today? I think the ice cream man's gonna kill us, dude. I'll just write this down for later.
Yeah.
Hey,
Don't do
hey,
that, man.
champ, how you doing?
That
My
paper's-
tattoos are talking to me.
That paper's evil. Don't do that.
Yeah. Hey, John. Who do you think the in the world is? Just names off the guy's name. Good name.
Next up, we have All Grown Up. I liked All Grown Up.
Every
was-
birthday, your mom and dad was there. Sorry,
I don't know
every
where to
time
put it,
you
though.
say the titles, I just think of the theme song.
What do we think? Do we think great? Is that good? Do you think it
I would
deserves
say it
awesome?
was great. I would say it's pretty fucking okay. It
Not quite up there.
I liked it.
was just the Rugrats characters has teenagers, and for what that was, they did a good job. I liked All Grown Up.
Next up is All That.
All that,
This
all that.
I kind of want to put it at the way top, just because it's
Here's the thing.
iconic.
Immediately, I want to put it pretty high. But here's the problem. Here's the situation. I'm thinking about the other shows that are going to pop up on this list later.
Well,
And while all that is good, it's nowhere near as good as Keenan and Kel.
I think they're about the same.
I
prefer Keenan and Kel.
I view Keenan and Kel as high art. Keenan and
like,
Kel is a perfect
actually,
comedy.
Fun fact, in case people don't know, All That gave us that comedian Gabriel Iglesias.
And Keenan.
Yes.
That was Keenan's start. And Amanda Vines.
That didn't turn out well.
And Amanda Vines then gave
Josh
Peck and Drake Bell their start.
Well,
here's the thing. Listen, I get it. I know he's a bad dude. I don't like him either. The show's good. Drake and Josh, the show is great.
Okay, so All That is up in perfection. You know what? Yeah, it's fine there. Okay. Next up, I've never seen this show because I'm scared.
Did I save all the children yet? No.
Next up is that show, Alvin. That fucking creepy looking Alvin and the Chipmunks show they did.
I've watched that show, and I don't think it's that bad.
It's just
the animation you definitely have to get used to, but it's not that bad. They always have like some sort of like a meaning to every episode, and the episodes wrap up really well. And sometimes there are some pretty good jokes. One of my favorite ones was I watched it fairly recently, where they try to like some guy. Alvin tries hiring some guy to like act like he's an alien to do something. I can't remember what it was.
I think I've seen this episode. I think he's trying to scare the Chipettes or someone.
And it's really funny because the guy shows up and he's got like a freaking Ukrainian accent or something, some European, untraceable European accent. And he's like, "I'm an alien. Be afraid." He's just wearing like tubes on his arms.
I have seen one episode of that show. Actually, I watched a couple because I was hanging out with my cousins. I remember now, and I liked it. I didn't think it was bad. I laughed a few times, but it's nowhere near as good as the original Chipmunk TV
So would we
show.
say it's good?
I'd say it's
a good spot or great?
I'd say it's low. If there's an okay option, I'd put it
okay
there.
is underneath good. So.
Yeah, I'd say it's okay. It's fine.
Okay, good. Good God, kill it. Kill it.
Kill it?
Kill it. Angela Anaconda, kill it.
I don't remember this.
I can't. It's done in that weird, like, paper cutout type style.
Oh, I hate those.
And it's got, like, real faces on the bodies of, like, it's awful. So that's the first fail. Oh. Next up is, let's see. Let's see. Next is Angry Beavers. I liked Angry Beavers.
Never watched it.
I watched 3 episodes of it. Didn't like it after the first episode. Did like it after watching the rest. First episode, it was annoying. The other 3, I got into it. Other 2, my bad. Boss fight.
I don't know. Should I put it in? I think I'll put it in great. Top of great. Next up is Are You Afraid of the Dark? That is...
Yes.
That... To me, that's perfection.
When I was a kid, I was terrified of the dark. I still am every now and then. If I am alone in the dark, I don't love it.
Is this... I don't know. What do we want to put this show?
Are You Afraid of the Dark? Um,
They still
I have
make
died
new
there.
ones of that show. There's a new movie of that show coming out like recent, like
is
soon.
there? I was about to ask if they
Yeah.
still do shit with that. I know Goosebumps is long dead now, except for like Goosebumps does like a movie every now and then. I don't think we're gonna have anything like the older shows because like the older shows weren't very scary, but they were spooky, and that was fun. Like they were kind of like a gateway drug into the world of horror.
What was that other one that was? Um, there was Goosebumps, Are You Afraid of the Dark, and there was one other one. I
R.L.
think
Stein's The Haunting Hour.
that might have been the one.
Oh,
I know
Because
what
I
you're talking
remember like
about.
that Discovery Kids channel used to play it all the time.
It was
Like
called
after
like
the show had aired already.
was it called like Eerie something?
That might
I
be it
can't
as
remember.
well. I remember there being other ones as well. But
I just
Goosebumps
remember
and Are You Afraid of the Dark?
R.L. Stein had two shows. He had Goosebumps, and then I believe he had one that was like not based on books. It was just a show called The Haunting Hour. I would put Are You Afraid of the Dark in. Honestly, I'd just put it in okay. I would watch an episode every now and then, get a little freaked out, and like move on with my life. There was this one creepy episode where a dude sacrifices people to a radio. That was creepy. Or he may have been sacrificing them to a basement. I don't really know how the sacrifices worked, but this kid was like given stuff for sacrificing kids, and the episode ends with him deciding he's gonna sacrifice his sister. It was kind of creepy. I'm not gonna lie. I think JonTron might have covered that one in a video.
Let's see. Okay. Oh, give me the.
Also, Christy, I have now officially added that show to the list. Green Fox Dragon says Erie, Indiana.
I think that was the name of the show.
That is a place.
Yeah, I've been there.
So Erie, Pennsylvania.
Let's see. As told by Ginger.
I'm gonna be real. Didn't give a fuck about this show. Now here's the thing, and I will acknowledge this. I didn't really give the show a fair chance. Because when I was a kid, you know, it kind of just seemed like a show about a girl going through high school. And when you're a kid, you don't really give a shit about a girl going through high school. Ironically enough, though, I was super into Hey Arnold, which is about a boy going to school. But also all the weird characters.
I never watched that one.
Hey Arnold?
I didn't watch Hey Arnold or a few of those other shows that everybody's always like talking about, and I'm like, I didn't watch these.
Hey Arnold has
I
a
didn't
show.
like the art style when I was younger.
Here's the thing, and this is what I would recommend to anybody who hasn't seen Hey Arnold. Go back and watch it as an adult, because weirdly enough, it gets better when you're older. Me and Pat were just talking about that a minute ago.
Next up is Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Top tier.
It pains me, but
I just finished a rewatch of this series. I stick with it. Avatar: The Last Airbender is one of, if not the best show ever made. I really liked Korra too. There were times when Korra reached those heights.
Um, Awesomeness TV. I know what this is, but I've never seen it.
That's familiar.
This is their weird attempt at like live action stuff again.
Chat, I have paused for a second because I am currently doing a joke. That requires me to look up the Spanish pronunciation of something. I'm doing a joke. We can keep talking, though.
No.
We're just gonna wait until you finish your joke, Kneale.
Go on.
I'm working on it. Give me a minute. What the fuck? Poor cute. Oh, yeah, I forgot. So, fucking English as a language is actually very super specific, but a lot of other languages aren't nearly as specific as English. A lot of the same words are reused. So the word pourquoi, which I just recently put in Google Translate to find out that it means why, it also means because. That's interesting.
Actually, there is a slight difference, I believe.
Is there?
I think porque is why, and then porque is because. I think it's the way you pronounce it. I don't know. It's also the sentence structure thing. It's hard.
Also, one of the words in this thing I just translated is buckadildo. No, wait, not dildo. Why did I say dildo? Buckadillo.
Buckadildo.
I saw the dill, and, well, my mind kind of auto-corrected.
What happened to that? You got a couple years ago.
Oh, the dildo I got for Christmas?
A year ago. Yeah.
It's in my closet. I still have it. It's in good condition.
Hell yeah.
No!
What's the joke I was looking for? What's the fucking word I'm
God
looking
damn
for?
it! Fuck you, the Spanish language. Okay, Christy, I'm gonna break this down. So essentially, I was talking to Christy, and I just randomly said, "I'ma eat you." She said, "Why?" in Spanish. And then I said, "'Cause you're food." Just doing a stupid joke. But then I realized, oh shit, I could have said a shitty pickup line instead of that. Want to know what it is? And she was like, yeah. So I was like, I could have answered, I'm not going to read what this is in Spanish, but I essentially put in Spanish, because you're a snack. And unfortunately, when she translated it, the word sandwich popped up instead of snack.
Cause you're a sandwich.
That should be the new
I found a woolly rhino.
Honestly, if that line doesn't turn on the ladies, I don't know what would. Hey, baby, you're a sandwich. Let's go make love. That's hilarious.
I found a tea ring from woolly mammoths and brontosaurus.
You found what?
A T-Rex running away from two brontosauruses.
The
They get
Brontosaurus. The Brontosaurus is weak on its own, but united, they can combat the mighty T-Rex? Shoot the thing.
I mean, it was running from the woolly mammoths first. Then the Brontosaurus just happened to be in its way.
Well, maybe this T-Rex is just a wuss. Ow.
Asphalt for this mountain. It's really pretty. Who the fuck's penguins? There's supposed to be penguins here.
What are you playing?
Ark.
Also, apparently you pronounced that word correctly, and I did not. According to Christy, the Spanish word porque or porcu or whatever the fuck. I'm sorry, chat. I don't know words of any
It should be
language.
very hard for you.
Every language would be very hard for me. English is very hard for me. I briefly knew how to speak Pig
You can't
Latin,
roll
and that
your
was just the
R,
worst.
so-
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, there would be a lot of
This would be,
me sounding like an idiot.
be a very cool place to make. There's like a
You're cutting in and out,
little bit
my
of
dude.
like yeah.
Buddy, you're cutting in and out. I can't hear you.
Not talking. Am I fine now?
You're fine now.
There's like a little landing outside the snow area here. And make a good place for a house. At an area that doesn't have
Much shit going on.
any, it's not too cold and whatnot. Is that a, what are you?
I'm SpongeBob.
Carno? Oh,
By
shit,
the way,
there's a
Christy,
bunch of metal
that
here.
is the first time I have ever used the word snack. And apparently I used it incorrectly and said sandwich.
Sandwich.
Just imagine things are getting hot and heavy. You've been talking to somebody for a little while, and you're like, hey, babe, I want to eat you. Why? Because you're a sandwich. It's the stupidest shit. That's like
Found an Allosaurus.
That's like sex repellent if you call a girl a sandwich. Or maybe that would win a girl's heart. Chat, what do you think? Do you think someone would fall in love with you if you called them a sandwich?
Girl,
Or
you're
do you
one
think they'd
hell
dump
of a
you?
sandwich.
Girl, you want you a one of a kind recipe sandwich.
You're like a Reuben. Fucking tasty.
It would be funny, but would you fall in love with them, Christy? That's the question. Can I get that? Ah, fuck. I fucked that up.
There be an Ankylosaurus here.
I thought you were gonna say ankle. Yar, there be an ankle. It's right below me shin. Follow this pirate treasure map to find me ankle. This is just a diagram of a skeleton. Yar.
It's a who makes treasure map like all of the body parts of his body. It's like here be my booty. Here be my
He just he just tore out like a magazine picture of like a skeleton or something. He didn't even write the map, he just took it like from Google or something.
Yeah.
Yar, pirates are known for their strong internet connection.
You do know that pirates.
Oh man, I'm so sorry. You cut out right on the punchline. So you literally only said, "You do know that pirates," and then you stopped.
Created Google. Google.
Pirates created Google? Is this a conspiracy?
Yes, this is my joke.
I don't actually understand. I guess someone can explain it to me. What does the word snack mean when it's used as a compliment? Like, what does it mean to be a snack? How I guess I just don't understand that.
It means they're hot.
Does it?
That you
Because I
could
thought
eat
it meant
them.
they're cute.
Tip out. You're pretty. Or I want to, in a sexual way. A lot of the time.
Oh, I
Not all
see.
the time, but a lot of the time.
Well, I have definitely just heard people say you're
What
a
the
snack
fuck?
before. So I don't know if it's always a sexually charged term. I
Not
wouldn't be
always.
surprised that that's where it originated,
Just
though.
plain. Fairly sure that's where it originated.
I'm trying to think of
There'd be
a
a
snack.
Tech Rex down there.
I'm now trying to think of a snack food that I think is sexy. I don't think there
Pings.
is one. Maybe Doritos.
Cannoli. A
A cannoli?
cream-filled cannoli.
Woof. So much cream in that cannoli. It's getting me turned on, I guess.
Fresh glazed donuts.
My specific recipe of glaze.
Back at the Barnyard, you remember this show?
Get it, chat? It's a jizz joke.
I do.
Remember Back at the Barnyard?
I watched too much
I
of that
remember it.
show.
I watched
I
way
didn't
too
like
much
it,
of that
but I
show.
watched it.
It
Yeah.
was-
I did
Same.
like it, and I watched every single episode. Including the hour-long special they did to kind of end it. Where they all became superheroes.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Here's the thing, I remember it being funny. Just like how that Kung Fu Panda show was actually pretty damn funny. So I don't know. I'll put it in good, yeah.
You'll put it in good. Big Time Rush. Oh, good lord.
You
I-
wanna be famous.
I don't remember much about it.
Patchy the Pirate from SpongeBob has a cameo in one of the episodes of that show. Where they're looking for treasure. Patchy just shows up. I watched a lot of Big Time Rush as a kid. I also had a very cringy moment where I found out I was going to graduate high school, and to celebrate, I sung one of a Big Time Rush song as karaoke. Because I didn't think I was going to graduate that year. Fucking, it was okay. The problem with Big Time Rush is a lot of times it would go in a direction that I think would be too ludicrous. Like, the show had goofy plot lines, but it was mostly like a one of the live action Nickelodeon shows. They kind of had dramatic elements. But then they started trying to go too goofy with it. Specifically, there is a bear costume in this show. And every time people see this bear costume, they're all fooled into believing it's a real bear. The bear costume does not look like a real bear. At all. It looks like a bear costume. And every time people are like, "Oh no, a bear!" I'm just sitting there like, "You idiots. You fools. That's a man in a suit. The show acknowledges it's a man in a suit, so why do you think it's not a man in a fucking suit?" I would still say it was okay. I'd probably put it in okay.
The show's okay.
What? It's not bad. I'm just nitpicking.
I just have some minor grievances.
It just didn't take itself seriously a lot of the time, which sucks because like when it was taking itself seriously, it kind of worked for me. They did a movie where they exclusively covered Beatles songs, and fun fact, since I wasn't super into music as a kid, that movie was my introduction to the Beatles. And that would have been when I was 18 years old. I remember listening to the songs and thinking, wow, these are pretty good. And then finding out they're all Beatles songs and being like, oh, I'll look at the Beatles.
Next up is the game show Brain Surge.
I saw an episode of that. Fuck you, I will destroy you.
I kind of want to put it in fail just because it annoyed me.
We can put it in fail. I don't care about it.
Put it. I don't put it. There you go.
This is shitty level design, but I've got
next
it.
Up is. Let's see. Next up is Breadwinners. Oh God.
Breadwinners is about the two birds, right?
The two ducks.
I never watched it. Never had the.
I've seen 2 episodes. It's dumb. You know how when Adventure Time got big, a lot of shows kind of took the quirky Adventure Time humor?
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of like if you mix that with SpongeBob, and it didn't work at all.
I think it's a fail.
I would say so.
The fuck is this?
There were a lot of fart jokes in the episode I watched too, and that is 100% usually a turn off to me. I don't like fart jokes. I view them as low art. But then again, once or twice you'll hear like a
Did you watch the
brilliant
Game
fart
Grumps?
joke. Which one? They don't only do fart jokes.
What the fuck is this show?
They make a lot of fart jokes.
Hold on.
Listen, I will be the first to tell you that sometimes fart jokes are funny. I just believe that in general, when they are not funny, they're fucking awful.
Yeah.
But if you can make a fart joke work...
This show say the brothers Flub? The fuck is that?
The brothers what?
Flub? Is that what that says? I can't read it. It's not.
Floob?
The typing's weird.
For some reason, I recognize the brothers something. So I may have seen this show if we can figure out.
Oh,
what
yeah, it's called the
is.
Brothers Flub. What the fuck is the Brothers Flub?
Well, then I guess I haven't heard of it.
Okay, we're gonna put that in the new. I made another category. Just said haven't watched. I have no idea what the fuck that is.
The Brothers Blub.
The brothers.
The
Blood.
Brothers Bubs.
Green Fox Dragon asks, should I watch all the episodes of Regular Show? I think so. Regular Show's really good.
Oh shit, don't want to go that way.
Skylar loves Regular Show. I'm pretty sure Pat isn't a fan. But
there's some episodes that are kind of like but there are some really, really good episodes.
Every episode I've seen I liked.
Yeah.
Bucket and Skinner's Epic Adventures. Oh,
that's about a puppet. I almost said a pucket.
That's about a bucket.
I see no puppet on the picture. It's just all people. I think you're thinking of a different show.
Bucket
and Skinner are humors. They're humors. They're humans.
For some reason, I was sure.
I don't think I ever saw this show. Or if I did, I just didn't care.
Let me look it up because I recognize the name.
Whoa.
What's it called? Bucket and Skinner?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I assume that is spelled how it sounds. Let's look this up. Oh my god, I have seen this show. Oh my god. We just dug into a part of my brain I had long forgot. The show is about two surfer dude idiots. I remember this. So all of their friends are much smarter than them, and they're just kind of dumbasses. That's basically the show, and they're trying to figure things out. It kind of felt like it was an attempt at, weirdly enough, it kind of felt like it was an attempt at trying to do the same ideas that Zeke and Luther did over on the Disney Channel, but with surfing instead of skateboarding.
So, would you consider this a fail, or was it?
I don't remember it at all, really. So I can't say that it's bad, and I can't say that it's good. So I guess I would just put it in like an empty void category, like it exists. I remember Bucket, the blonde. I think his name was Bucket. He might have been Skinner. Whoever the blonde dude was, he was annoying. So yeah, we'll put it in fail. Why not?
Put at the top of fail. Butt Ugly Martians. I remember the show.
I saw trailers for it.
It's fine. It's okay. Way bottom of okay though.
Chat, how old do you feel while we talk about these shows that have faded from human existence?
Bunsen is a beast. I've never seen it.
That's Butch Hartman's show. It actually had a crossover with Fairly Odd Parents, believe it or not.
So not judging him, where would we put this?
Well, every episode I've seen of the show itself, I found annoying. Because Bunsen, the main character, is annoying. However, in the Fairly Odd Parents crossover, one of the characters that hates Bunsen and wants to kill him teams up with Mr. Crocker. And that was pretty funny.
So it's just like top of fail, bottom of okay, you think?
I don't even really want to rank it. It's just bad. I would say bad. So fail. I don't think there is a bad category, is there?
Well, that's what fail is. The Casa Grandes. I've not seen that yet.
I like that show.
That's a spinoff of Loud House. Loud House!
I like both of those shows.
Bank for them.
Whoa.
Like, Loud House was one of those ideas where it was like, oh, cute, a new Nickelodeon show. And then it ended up being legit pretty good.
So where would we put the Casa Grandes, would you say, from what your experience? Is it?
Skylar has to rank it. I haven't seen it. Skylar?
Would you say it's great?
It's
or would you say good?
I'd say it's good. It's not as good as the Loud House.
In the loud house, everybody's having sex. Don't know who's coming next. This is not the Loud House family. This is just a house that is loud. This is just a house that is loud because of all of the sex.
By the way, actually, no, I don't think I should share that.
It's a loud house. It's a loud house.
Anyway, next up is Cat Dog.
Cat Dog.
It's gotta be up there for me. It's up there.
I would put it in awesome. I think anyone who puts it in like the really like masterpiece category is like overhyping it a little.
Cat Scratch. I remember Cat Scratch, yes.
I would put that in awesome. I don't like the maker of that show, but I do quite like the show itself. It was funny. We don't talk about Bruno.
Oh, this is one of my favorite shows that no one talks about. Chalk Zone. I love Chalk Zone.
Rudy's got the chalk to chalk to
That's a
chalk.
great show.
Rudy's got the chalk. Rudy's got the chalk.
Actually, that's a character should be in the game, the fighting game. What's his name?
Snap.
his friend. Yeah.
Snap is requested. Although,
So,
weirdly enough, I did not realize how many people wanted Rocco. Rocco was heavily demanded to be in the game.
so should we put
Is he
Shock
out yet?
Zone?
Not yet,
Rocco?
but fucking Hugh just came out, so Rocco's next. I plan to buy Hugh, and play him on stream at some point. I hope Jimmy Neutron gets in the game, because it'd be weird if his dad got in and he didn't. You were saying, Sky?
He is probably my best character.
Hmm. I mean, Rocco's your boy.
I will definitely play him as well. I'll just have to see how his moveset works out.
They gotta include Spunky, right?
You think?
Okay, so Chalk Zone, we put it in awesome, would we say?
Oh, absolutely awesome.
Okay, let me
Awesome at the least.
Clarissa Explains It All. Oh, God. I remember this show, because that was...
I've seen one episode of the show.
It was like the late 90s. Mid-90s. It was...
Fun fact, last time we did this list, I confused Clarissa Explains It All for Has Told by Ginger. I thought they were the same show.
I think Clarissa, it was good. As high as I would put it.
I didn't watch it.
I'll put it here. Oh God. Cousin Skeeter. I remember Cousin Skeeter.
Is that the one about the puppet?
Yes, that's the one with the puppet.
Where do I go?
It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. Let's see. Danny Phantom. Well, that...
I'd put that in God tier. I know there's no God tier, but I'd put that pretty high. Danny Phantom was dope, dude. It was a good story. It had a lot of action. Danny Phantom, for me, was like just a really good narrative-based cartoon show. I would put it up there with like Ben 10 Alien Force and shit. I really liked Danny Phantom. Yo, Danny Phantom. And plus, he had a rap theme song that was good. And that's not easy to do. Yo, Danny Phantom, he was just 14 when his parents made a strange machine. It was designed to see a world unseen.
What was I?
Green Fox Dragon, if you don't watch every episode of regular show, at least watch the episode with Death in it. That one's funny. Where Death and Skips have an arm wrestling match.
Next is Drake and Josh. I think
I'm gonna put this in the highest category. I think Keenan and Kel and Drake and Josh are two of my favorite comedy shows ever. They're really good. What do you think, Pat? I know. Which do you like better, Drake and Josh or Keenan and Kel?
Keenan and Kel.
That is fair. Honestly, the two shows are very similar. It's kind of hard to pick between the two. I think I like Drake and Josh just a little bit better. Solely because of Megan.
LT Gray. I like that show.
I like LT Gray.
I haven't seen it in a while, though.
You're glitching out, Sky. We can't hear you.
All I said was that show was good.
Oh, okay. It sounded like you said more than that. My bad. I liked the premise because his dad...
What does that do?
His dad was like the world's best superhero, right? And then his grandpa was like the world's best villain. And he's got to kind of decide what he's going to be. Did he ever pick? Did the show like end with him becoming a hero or a villain?
Uh,
I feel like they were building towards hero because even the grandpa starts doing heroic stuff. But I do know there's one episode where he robs a bank. And he had a cool friend too. Like I can't remember his
I
friend's
remember
name,
that.
but her design was dope. She had like blue hair and goggles.
Frida?
Her name was Frida. You're right.
I know. I remember that. So I remember his name and her name. I don't remember anyone else. I also remember there was like a goth girl who was a villain. I don't know what the fuck her name was. Her family were villains too. They all dressed like crows or ravens or so. I don't know what the hell they're called though.
I cannot remember that. I can't remember any of the show, but I honestly wouldn't mind rewatching a few episodes because I remember it being
I think
good.
it was great. I'll put it up there.
Oh, and Danny Phantom had that really cool song. What was it? It was like, Amber, you will remember. It was about lost love. It was great. That was such a good episode. Sorry, I'm back on Danny Phantom now. I would say El Tigre is pretty great. If you guys want to put it in the awesome category, I will not argue though. But I would say great.
I would too.
Let's see.
I'd say it's a little better than good.
Every Which Way. I have no idea what that is. Actually, I've heard of that name, but I've never seen it.
I've heard of the name, and I think I've seen the show, so I'm gonna Google it real fast. Because I knew about Bucket and Skinner. So I think I know this one too.
I think this was the point in time when Nickelodeon was just like, okay, they're trying to do the live action shows again. I don't care.
Every Which Way, Nickelodeon. Oh yeah, I did watch this. It was weird because they filmed it with different cameras. Like this show was like filmed in like a different country, and they used different cameras than like the normal Nickelodeon shows, and that kind of turned me off immediately to it. It's basically just a Nickelodeon like sitcom style show, but like not even a sitcom. It's basically like a Victorious or a Zoe 101, but with the addition of them being witches. I do believe there was a bit of a mystery also, which is why I watched a couple episodes. I would put it in fail. It didn't leave an impact. I only remembered it because I had to Google it. Are you ready, kids? Okay, chat. I'm going to show you a little cheat for this mission. Watch this. This is how you cheat this mission. Blow up this first one, then stand on this platform. Then when you fall, blow up the next one. Then just stand on this platform. Jump over here, blow up this one. They don't have time to spawn the enemies. Now, they do correct for this eventually, because they end up adding more than one machine in a minute. Because I think they realized that people could just kind of do that. But it is a little cheat.
Next up is Doug.
Never watched it.
I love Doug.
That was the other one I was trying to think of when I said I never watched it.
Did you
I
guys
never
know...
watched that or Hey Arnold.
You know the Nostalgia Critic hates it. Because his name's Doug.
You guys want to hear a weird fact?
Penis.
Doug had his own musical.
I've seen it. I've seen footage. It's
Oh,
interesting.
That's right. Don't you watch that one YouTuber, whatever the fuck, Defunctland?
Who, Disney Dan?
Yeah, him.
Yeah,
There's
I saw
another
that
guy
video
called
with
Defunctland.
He's the one that takes like months to make videos. Actually, lately he hasn't been doing that.
What are those things?
It's a penis. I think we'll put Doug at the top for me, at least.
I thought Doug was fine, but here's the thing, like, Whereas Hey Arnold was a
I
show about
died
a
there.
kid going to school with like really deep themes,
Hmm.
Doug was just kind of about a kid going to school. I would say in comparison, Hey Arnold is the better show. I like Doug fine, but it's just kind of okay for me.
Let's see.
I want to know what these things are called.
Fairly Odd Parents.
What?
Ooh.
You want to know what things are called, Sky?
I found a dino or an animal in this game that I don't know what it is. I'm assuming it's one of the fantasy creatures they have in the game. Because it doesn't look very real. And its ability is pretty, not so realistic. It does a move where it just, like, flies up in the air and then launches itself downward at everybody, so it's like a dragoon kind of thing.
Mm.
They have, like, wings on their side. They're pretty cool looking.
Yeah, I got no idea. I know there are dinosaurs that fucking had wings. And
Well, this isn't
feathers.
this doesn't look like a real dino. Looks like
Okay.
something they either made up or put it from another thing. I don't want to get close to that.
It'll eat you.
Let's see.
That's what dinosaurs do.
Actually, no, I was trying to stay away from another dino that I might be another fake one.
Mm.
There's a dino
So-
called a Castrosaurus in this.
Mhm.
It's got like spikes all over it, and it can use like ice powers and shit. And it also scare your dinos away.
Well, I don't
So
know
where
about
should-
you. I think that's real.
So where should we put the Fairly Odd Parents?
I mean, I feel like it has to be high, right? Because, like, say what you want about Fairly Odd Parents, it's good. Like obviously it overstayed its welcome. I would say Fairly Odd Parents as a show. There was one season I watched where it just started getting ridiculous. Like they introduced a dog character for Timmy,
Mm-hmm.
and then they introduced like another kid that was like Timmy's partner god kid.
Mm-hmm.
They clearly ran out of ideas after a while. But all in all, the original Fairly Odd Parents was great. Really good comedy. I almost did the same thing again, chat, where I finished this mission but then
Well.
don't claim the prize.
Oh, good lord. We have Fanboy and Chum Chum.
Here we go now, fanboy chum chum. Kinda kooky,
couldn't
fanboy
stand it.
chum chum. We're amazing, totally crazy. Yeah, that show was stupid, ugly, and, like, really gross. So why did I watch it so much? I watched a lot of that show, and I did like it. But I don't understand why, because it was annoying. I don't know. I would say good, but if anybody wants to put it lower, I get it. This might be a guilty pleasure of mine. Although I will throw hands when it's time for us to talk about Mr. Meaty, or whatever the name of that ugly ass puppet show was.
Let's see. Next up is Fred the Show. Oh, good lord.
Can we award something negative points?
Yeah. Just gets its own spot.
Because I did watch this, and I hated it. I don't know why I watched as many episodes as I did.
See,
Maybe I
that tells
hated
you
myself.
something. You know, see that right there tells you something. There's someone like him, that character, that stupid ass character, got a show. And yet there's so many more talented people now who don't get shit.
Fred not only got a show, he got 3 movies and a show. And Lucas Cruikshank, the guy who played Fred and came up with Fred, he still works. He still does stuff. He doesn't do the Fred character anymore, but he's like, he got famous. He still works in the industry.
Let's see. Next up is Game Shakers. I've heard that name, but I've never seen it.
I've seen a few episodes of this because my brother was into it. Weirdly enough, they did a couple crossovers with Henry Danger. Apparently, one of the characters in the show actually had a crush on Henry. And weirdly enough, there might be an episode where they imply they get together. But it's kind of weird because over in the Henry Danger show, Henry had started dating his co-star, I believe, named Charlotte. So I don't know if all of that tracks.
So does it sound like an okay show then?
Oh, Game
it
Changers?
Good? Yeah, Game Shakers.
I would say it's okay. Look, it's millennial humor. And I get that, I'm technically a millennial, but what I mean by that is, I guess Gen X humor or whatever. It's the jokes for the younger kids. There's dabbing. There's, a bunch of talk about mobile games. There's, oh my gosh, and OMG, and shit like that. It's all over that show. So if that shit doesn't make you cringe, good, you'll probably like the show. It's a fine comedy. But fun fact, there is one reason I watched it, Pat. Kel Mitchell's in it. Kel Mitchell plays one of the game changers. Let me explain the show. The show Game Shakers is about these kids who become game designers for mobile games. And one of the kids' dads is Kel Mitchell. And he is an eccentric millionaire who just spends all his money and does really weird shit with it. That part of the show is funny. But all the stuff with the kids is pretty cringe. I would put it in either fail or good, I guess. Either fail or just okay.
Harvey Beaks. Never seen it.
I haven't seen an episode, but it looks dumb. Skylar, have you seen Harvey Beaks? Skylar's dead. Harvey got him.
The Haunted Hathaways. I remember hearing a lot about the show, but never saw it though.
This was during the time when Wizards of Waverly Place got really successful. So Nickelodeon was trying to rip them off. That's when we got shows like The Thundermans and The Haunted Hathaways. To be fair, Thundermans ended up being pretty okay. And I remember Haunted Hathaways not necessarily being bad either. It's basically just about this family who lives in a house, and then they discover it's haunted by ghosts. But then they make friends with the ghosts. And the whole thing is they gotta keep the rest of the world from discovering there are ghosts in this house. Much like how, once again, it's just Wizards of Waverly Place, but instead of wizards, write ghost. Wizards of Waverly Place ended up getting very funny and, very wild. I don't think this show reached those heights. I would say it's good. I guess it's fine. I wish there was a basic category. I wish we could put things in the basic category.
Let's see. Henry Danger.
Sky has seen this one. I would say it's good. I'm not going to say it's awesome. I'm not going to say it's amazing. It's a very dumb show, but it knows how dumb it is, and it has fun with it. And it also gave an actor I really like work. And he's still popping up in the spin-off show, too. So, honestly, yeah, I'd say it's fine. Pretty good.
Hey Arnold. Oh no, that's going.
Yeah.
Get on the show.
Get on up there with Avatar and Shock Zone, bitch. Where is this last fucking wheel? Is it in here?
Damn it. House of Anubis. I remember this show getting talked about a lot, but I never watched it.
I watched it. I watched every episode of it. And I had a very specific reason for it. This was the first mystery show on a kid's network in a very long time. Like, Scooby-Doo's been off the air for a little bit. Most of the other mystery shows that I enjoy have ended now. House of Anubis came in, and it was a show. Christy asks, was it good? That's a loaded question. Because if you ask me, nah, not really. But that's because the mystery was kind of basic. But the show was made for kids. And if I was a kid, I guarantee you I would have fucking loved that show. So my answer is yes and no. I don't necessarily recommend people seek it out, but if you have a curiosity and you're a mystery fan, like, it's not bad at all, it's just kind of basic. It actually had 2 seasons. I've seen both seasons. I remember the second season getting a little weird. But all in all, pretty harmless show. Pretty okay. I liked it alright. I want to watch it and see how predictable it is. For me, here's the thing, and I don't want to sound cocky when I say this, but I've watched a lot of mystery stuff, so I'm very good at picking up on mystery tropes and, like, solving clues and stuff. So I knew everything that was gonna happen pretty much, but, you know, could turn out that other people don't. I'm not gonna, like, pretend it was, like, the best thing in the world, but, like, it was good. It was okay. For kids, it was probably great. It's on Netflix, I think. If you want to stuff it in the good category, I think that would be okay. Is there an okay category? Like, is there, like, a middle ground between fail and good?
Yeah, that's what the okay category is.
Oh, I didn't know there was an okay category. Then I would put it in okay. Also, Neil realizes Gundam is the killer near the end of the trial. Yeah, I'll admit, I'm not the best detective. Like, I have my faults. But I can figure some shit out. To be fair, though, that Gundam thing did take me by surprise. But I did figure it out before they revealed it to you. Like, the second they were about to reveal it, I figured it out. Right before that. And then I cried on camera. Because I love that fucking character. Can I give you my money, you greedy bastard? I can. Take my money. Alright. We're almost at enough where we can go to the sand hills. That'll be cool. You know, this whole list, and we haven't talked about SpongeBob yet.
iCarly.
I think I think iCarly was pretty awesome. I would put it in the awesome category.
Okay. Oops. No.
I don't know if anyone else on this planet likes iCarly as much as I do. but I do.
Invader Zim.
Here's the thing, I didn't watch a lot of Invader Zim because the only episodes I saw were creepy as fuck.
I think I'd put in bottom of awesome, I think. Like, I think not quite there, but it's
I as a kid was very easily scared. And Zim had some fucked up shit in it. Like, wasn't there a whole episode about harvesting organs or something?
uh-huh.
And I remember the Santa episode creeped me out too. Christy, I'm curious now because did you play Danganronpa or did you watch a Let's Play of it? And either way, my question is, did you figure out some of the murderers before they happened? And if you did, which ones? Like, did you figure out who the murderers are before it was revealed? That's what I'm asking, I guess.
Let's see.
I think the ones I know I had Celeste pegged. Like, I knew it was Celeste from the start.
Jimmy Neutron.
God tier. No regrets, God tier. Jimmy Neutron is Jimmy Neutron is hilarious. It's very well written. It has very funny and iconic characters. There's not much to say about it. It's just pretty fucking good. I played it and I don't honestly remember. That's fair.
The Journey of Alan Strange. This is one of those weird, like, 90s live action Nick shows.
I don't remember it.
I didn't care about it at all. But then again, I didn't watch much of this. I think we just put it and haven't watched. Like, I kind of remember it, not really, so.
I played them over a year ago. That's fair. I mean, I have video catalogs to remember what I did with my first experiences with that game. So I guess that's why I remember my shit.
Just Jordan. That's another show. I remember the name, but I don't know what it is. It's a live action show, but I don't remember anything.
It stars one guy, apparently. Oh. I was just gonna say I accidentally did the hardest one of these first. But that should be okay. I've done this map several times. What were you saying, though? What's the next thing for the list?
Kablam. I remember Kablam. There was
a show called Kablam on Disney, too, but that was just re-editing old cartoons and adding in sound effects and commentary, which ruined them. Oh, and slow-mo. Don't forget slow-mo.
Kablam was good. It was kind of like a sketch show almost, where it's like it was animated, but they'd have like different things they'd go to. These people lived inside a comic book.
I'm surprised there haven't been more animated sketch shows. Because one would think that would be like really popular. Like, just take the writers who do shit like SNL and put them in like an animated setting. I feel like people would really like that.
Next up is Camp Coral. Oh, God, I've never
the
seen it.
SpongeBob prequel.
Yes.
I have seen none of it. I have no opinion. However, I suggest we put it in the lowest category because Steven Hillenburg, the creator of SpongeBob, famously said he didn't want there to be any like spin-offs or anything, and even name dropped he wouldn't want to show about like a young SpongeBob. And then when he died, Nickelodeon went behind his back and gave Patrick a show. They did Camp Coral. They essentially did a lot of stuff the creator said, I never want this to happen with my product. So because of that, I don't like it just based on that alone. And I know that's me not giving the show a fair chance, but like in this specific case, I don't really care. But hey, maybe it's great. Maybe I'm the one who's wrong. Who knows? You never know, man. I suggest we just put it somewhere low and move on with our lives. My good friend Pat.
We'll put it here. Oops.
I should have waited to do this when I wasn't doing the time mission, but whatever. We can do it
now. Next up is Keenan and Kel. Well.
Yeah, we know where we're putting this,
Yeah.
right?
Get up there. There you go.
For anyone who has not seen Kenan and Kel, go watch Kenan and Kel. It's really good. They have 2 of the seasons on Netflix, but that is not enough. Still to this day, every time I see a 2-liter of orange pop, I think in my head, who loves orange soda? Cat loves orange soda. I do, I do, I do. Christy comments, Camp Coral goes against the canon. In canon, SpongeBob met Sandy as an adult, yet she exists in Camp Coral. Yeah, I don't like that shit. I hate it when shows do that. I hate it when shows break unless they right out at the gate are like, hey, this isn't canon. I hate it when they do that.
Kung Fu Panda Legends of Awesomeness. I like that show.
It was funny. I do like the theme for that show because it's basically just Poe coming up with a theme song. Master Shifu saw the warrior blossom and taught him the ways to be courageous and awesome. Kung Fu Panda. You were saying, Sky? Welcome back, by the way. Oh no, did me interrupting Sky kill him? Skylar? What have I done?
Let's see.
Hello.
Yes? We can hear you.
Fu Pandas on that.
Skylar, I'm so sorry. All I heard was Kung Fu Panda, and that was it. Was it good, though? Did you like it? I can hear your dog.
The show on Netflix is good.
Oh, the new one?
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of that. You think it's good?
I did.
You're cutting out again, brother. Oh shit, we're gonna run out of time before I win. Fuck. You know what's ironic? When you go to talk, I can't hear you. But every time Emmy barks, I hear it. I guess potentially the new one's good. My bad, Christy. Christy corrected me. It was not courageous and awesome. It was bodacious and awesome. Kung Fu Panda. Once again, I'm bad at English. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Come on, come on. Fuck you. Hell yeah. I did notice an animation flaw in that new show, though. Oh, really? Should we arrest the creators of Kung Fu Panda for being bad at their jobs? Green Fox Dragon says, don't forget it has Jack Black in it. I don't know if he was in the animated series, actually. He might have been. There's a scene where Po has his arm in a sling, and in one frame, the sling just disappears. What's next on the list, Patrick?
Let's see.
Alright, bitch. I'm gonna beat your timing this time. The other times I wasn't trying. Now, chat, this is what I look like when I'm trying.
The Legend of Korra.
I would put that pretty damn high. The thing with Korra, the thing I'll say, is Korra's kind of a mixed bag for me. Some of it is not great. Some of it is not well written. And there's a lot of confusion with the writing. However, I do want it to be known, none of that is the creator's fault. The fault lies solely on Nickelodeon, because Nickelodeon really managed it badly. They told them that they were only going to get one season of a show, when in reality, they changed their minds because Korra was popular. So the showrunners made a show that ended in one season. They wrapped everything up, they wrapped up all the plot points, they just gave the show a decent ending. And then Nickelodeon renewed them, and they didn't have any plans for the sequel. And Nickelodeon was still holding them to all of this shit. They slashed their animation budget. Nickelodeon was really the monster of the creation of Korra. They were really ruining a lot of it. But there are some great, completely wonderful episodes of Korra. And I recommend it for anybody who liked Avatar: The Last Airbender. I do not think you will be disappointed. Come on, baby.
Legends of the Hidden Temple. I liked that game show.
It's probably Nickelodeon's most famous one.
I mean, other than Double Dare, but those two, definitely.
So I was actually trying that time, and yet I still failed.
I think we'll put it in bottom of great, maybe, yeah.
I would say just because of its, just
Hmm.
how many people know about it. That alone deserves, a little bit of praise. Like, if you say Legends of the Hidden Temple and then go, the Cavern of the Monkey, people know what you're talking about.
Making Fiends. I recognize the look of the show, but I think I've seen some of it, but I don't remember anything.
I think, is this new? Or is it really
No.
old?
It's not really old, it's just I don't remember anything of it.
I have no idea. I haven't seen it. Oh, shit. Well, that was a very dumb thing of me to do.
Martin Mystery. I barely remember this show.
I remember somebody informing me this wasn't actually about mysteries, which pissed me off a little bit.
I don't remember, and I don't remember a lot. I don't remember enough to rank it, so if I put it in just haven't seen. It's.
If you are actually interested in watching House of Anubis, Christy, let me know what you think of it. I'd be curious about that. Oh shit! I looked at the chat because we got more viewers, and then I died. But, welcome in We got about 9 people watching now. Hello. Don't know what I did to deserve this, but I'm glad you're here nonetheless. I apologize for the suffering we're about to put you through. Yeah. Welcome to your torture.
Marvin. Oh, fucking hell, that's right. They gave him another show.
Yeah, they did do that. Fred had 2 shows on Nickelodeon. Wasn't Marvin about like an alien he was playing or something?
He died. Marvin was that show where the guy who plays Fred was an alien.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I remember it being bad. Essentially, I kind of get what they're going. I kind of get the mindset of giving him a show. Because, like, say what you want about the Fred show and the Fred movies. I certainly will. They were shit. But, fucking... They made 3 Fred movies and a TV show. So it had to be successful, right? Like, it had to have been. It had to have made money. So I get that, like, if this guy is that successful and he's, like, bringing in that much money, it makes sense. Like, hey, give him a show where we rip off that old show Robin Williams did. You know, Mork and Mindy or whatever. I can't remember a single episode of that show, but I remember it being dumb. So I'm putting it in fail. There we go, chat. Did it.
Men in Black, the animated series. I knew there was a show, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
That was on Nickelodeon?
Apparently.
I've seen 1 episode of that. Apparently it has a fan base. Green Fox Dragon says, I wonder how hard it is to put that monkey together. I mean, I'm trying to think of a joke I can make here, but I don't have one. I got a really dumb joke. I came up with one, but it's real stupid. I don't know if I want to share it. Alright, I'll share it, but chat, just know this. Don't think less of me for this dumb joke. Well, if the monkey is hard, you should spank it. Do you hate me now, Pat? Am I going to hell?
The Mighty Bee. I remember this show.
This show had a subplot about girls farting. It wasn't really a subplot, but it was a whole episode where, like, someone farted and it was a girl, and the whole theme of the episode is girls aren't supposed to fart, so whoever did this can't be a member of the Girl Scouts anymore. Fart humor is a challenging subject, to say the least. But I like that show. It wasn't bad at all, and it was kind of quirky. It was honestly, it had its own personality, and that alone is worth some points. We gotta go this way. And it's like I'm intentionally not getting the socks this round. Oh, well, I died, so hopefully I'll get another chance at him.
Let's see. My Life as a Teenage Robot.
I like that show a lot. I'm not going to put it in God tier, but I would say it was pretty good. Maybe even awesome. I'd put it in awesome, sure. Anyone else in the chat watch My Life as a Teenage Robot? They do some weird shit in that show. I specifically remember this episode where Ginny, the robot, decides that she wants to have human skin so people stop looking at her weird. So her mom makes her like a skin suit or something.
Mm-hmm.
But the skin ends up being sentient somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the creepiest shit. Because it like comes to life and fights her and tries to steal her friends. And it looks creepy. It looks like her, but tan and with empty eye holes. It's quite scary. Okay, come on, fucker. This is the one, chat. This is the one. Meaning that if this ends up not being the one, you can all make fun of me. I give you that power.
Let's see. Next up is Monsters vs. Aliens. I knew it had a show, but I'd never seen it.
It wasn't anything remarkable. It was just a show. Which kind of sucks, because I liked the Monsters vs. Alien movie. And then the show was just kind of, it was there. It was a show. What I like about the idea of making a movie and then giving those characters from the movies a TV show is it gives you time to, like, really focus on those characters more and, like, add depths. Like, for example, let's say you got a movie, you got your main character, you got your, like, best friend, you got your co-star and stuff like that. Like, usually movies only have about 2 main leads. So those are the 2 characters you're gonna, like, learn the most about. But I like it when you get your own show, because then you can have full episodes just about side characters and stuff. And really develop your world better. Honestly, TV shows are kind of at an advantage over movies. Because they just have more time and more potential of what they can do. Fuck you, tiny kid in a Santa hat. Fuck you. Ow. I've hurt myself today. Miss Puff, give me my shit. Fuck you, Puff Mama.
Let's see, next up is Mr. Meaty.
God tier. 10 out of 10. Best show ever. There's nothing better, Pat. It was shitty. But it was gross, and it was weird. It was funny. There's a whole episode about tapeworms. I remember you saying forever ago you did not like that show.
I do not.
Do you not like it because it's gross?
Then, because it's stupid.
It is both of those things.
I mean, they were clearly aware that it was stupid, but, it's like sometimes the show can be stupid and it works, and other times it's like they're just trying too damn hard.
I thought it was interesting, to be honest. Like, I thought it went in some weird and neat directions, and it was so very gross that it had its own identity, and I couldn't really challenge that. Like, it was entertainingly bad. I guess I'll put it like that. Also, chat, what I love about this mission is you can just cheat. You don't have to do any of that stuff it wants me to do. I can just use this very first one and get it.
Next up is My Dad, the Rock Star. I kind of remember this show.
I've heard of this.
It was okay. Like, it was kind of just there.
I didn't really watch it. There's a ton of shows on Nickelodeon that I saw, thought it was a dumb idea, and just didn't watch it.
The Naked Brothers Band.
10 out of 10, best show ever. Like when he wrote the song about Rosalina, I still cry. I'll say this, I liked it as a kid, so that means something. The Naked Brothers Band was just a show about these kids who were brothers and wearing clothes. So automatically false advertising, but essentially it was just about these kids who had a band. And I'm pretty sure they were a real band in real life, so why not? I also remember they started with a movie. And in the movie, all of their bandmates ditched them to make their own band. And they had to make a new one from scratch. With the two brothers and the love interest, Rosalina. Here's the thing. I liked it as a kid. So, part of me doesn't want to put it in, a bad category. I would say it's okay. It's fine. I'm sure if I rewatched it as an adult, I'd be very judgmental of it.
Let's see. Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide.
Okay, no joke. This one legitimately needs to go in one of the higher tiers. I don't know if you watched this one. This was really funny. It was about this kid who's going through high school, and he's trying to, figure things out. And in order to help other students, he's making a survival guide. But it's so cartoony, the fucking problems he gets in. It's quite funny. I really like Ned's Declassified. And it's on Netflix, and it's doing really well right now. People are I think Ned's Declassified might actually get a resurgence. Die. Die. All must die at the power of my mighty tongue.
Next up is Nickelodeon Guts. That was the sports. That was it was like a kind of what do you call it? Obstacle course type thing a little bit. That was the end. It was fine.
Not dissimilar to American Gladiators.
Yeah, basically.
I didn't watch much of Guts. However, apparently every fucking kid in the world wanted to be on that show. Well, you got to do cool shit. They'd hook you up to wires and let you play basketball. You get to play hockey, but with weird items and shit. I didn't watch Guts. I have no opinion, so I'll let you decide where it goes on the tier list. But I don't know. It's fine. It's not bad. There are worse ways to spend an afternoon.
The Penguins of Madagascar.
I would say that was good. It wasn't bad at all. Plus, it did the thing I was talking about, where they kind of took those characters and really fleshed them out more. Obviously Skipper got a lot of stuff to do in the Madagascar movies. But here you get to learn about his other friends. And because of that, I actually know all their names. It's Rico, Kowalski, Private, and Skipper. Those are the Penguins of Madagascar. And King Julian was in the show, too.
Pig, Goat, Banana, Cricket. I've seen that name of that
Excuse
show.
you?
I've seen what it looks like. I don't get it.
Pig, Goat, Banana, Cricket? Did they put a bunch of words in a hat and then picked them out and made a show?
It's basically one of those shows they're trying to be as weird and gross as possible, so to me it's an automatic
Is
fail.
the banana like a sentient banana? Why is he so
I don't...
important that he's in the fucking title?
Yeah, they're all in the show. That's what the name is.
Skyla's dead. Well, I'm curious if this is like a living banana. Like,
It is.
he's a character?
It's like Pizza Steve from Uncle Grandpa. It's like that.
Let me look this up. Okay, what is it? Pig blanket?
Pig banana.
Okay, pig, banana, cricket, and then something else. Pig, banana, cricket. Oh, my bad. I forgot goat. What the... Oh, this looks weird. The animation on this shit looks weird. I do not... I don't like this. Did Butch Hartman make this? Let me check. Creator. Who made this? Do we have anybody in the chat who has seen this show who can tell us if it's bad? It is not Butch Hartman. It is a man named Dave Cooper. Oh, I'm getting sleepy, chat. Pat, question. How much longer does the tier list have? Because I think we're going to go for about 8 more minutes. And then I'm going to have to jump out. I still haven't heard SpongeBob. So I guess we're doing it, like, is it in alphabetical order or something?
It is. Oops.
I see. I was wondering why we hadn't hit Rugrats yet.
Next up is Pinky and the Brain. I liked it.
That was on Nick?
Hmm.
Huh. That was like Warner Brothers owned. So, huh. Weird. I love Pinky and the Brain. I want to put that in, I would say put that in Master Class. Top 1. The best. I need to get 2 more golden spatulas before I can fight the next boss.
Planet Sheen. It's fine.
Wasn't bad. Wasn't good. It existed.
Yeah.
It was nowhere near as good as Jimmy Neutron.
Oh.
They also like clearly lowered the animation budget, which sucks. Because Sheen's a very funny character, and I think he could hold his own show.
We have Power Rangers, specifically the Mighty Morphin.
I'm of the opinion Mighty Morphin specifically is a little overhyped. Because everyone's like, Mighty Morphin is the best one! Why'd they keep making other Power Rangers? I have to disagree. But I love Power Rangers. Power Rangers. It's awesome. I would give most seasons of Power Rangers an awesome. Well, actually, I wouldn't, actually. I would give most of them a good chunk of them an okay. About 3 of them an awful. And then 2 of them, no, 3 of them would enter the master category. That's how Power Rangers be. But with Mighty Morphin, Mighty Morphin's good, if we want to put it there.
Rabbids Invasion. I remember this.
Watched 1 episode.
Dumb.
Realized that most of the episode was going to be the Rabbids making stupid noises. and I got out while I was ahead. I watched literally like 3 scenes of one episode, and then I jumped. I got out of there.
Let's see. Ren and Stimpy.
I haven't seen a ton of Ren and Stimpy. I've seen 1 or 2 episodes. I get why other people like it. For me, it was never really my cup of tea. It was just kind of gross out humor. And I never super got into that. I much preferred stuff like Rocko's Modern Life, which also had gross out humor, but like it was more tame and had other jokes too. How many people in the chat are still alive?
We have, what did I say? Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I have not seen a single episode of that.
Nearby.
But chat, here's the thing. That's about to change. Because apparently they made a movie recently. And it's on Netflix. And apparently the movie is really good. Like apparently the movie is like, if you're a Turtles fan, it's great. And Andre from Black Nerd Comedy, I actually just watched his review of it today. He said that he thinks even if you like don't like Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like you don't like the show, you'd probably like the movie. So I'm gonna watch the movie, I'm gonna give it a chance, and if I like the movie, I'm gonna go watch the show.
Robot and Monster. I liked
watched
what
this.
I saw. It was fine.
For me, I actually kind of dislike the show because the monster talked like this, and it was annoying. And it didn't really like do anything new or go anywhere. It just kind of was, here are some characters doing some air quotes funny things, and it wasn't actually that funny. To anyone who likes it, good for you. For me, I just thought it was generic and boring. Say what you want about Planet Sheen, but you can't say it was generic.
Rocket Power.
You mean sports? The sports show?
It's fine. It's not,
Sports.
I mean, people don't consider it the same type of sports. Because there is a difference.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of doing
like
that.
skateboarding isn't considered like part of like sports. Well, it
Yeah.
is, but it's
Well, they were
it's-
skateboarders, BMXers. They were just.
they're just
This was when everyone was doing the whole extreme thing.
yeah.
And Rocket Power fit into that. It was okay. Honestly, I kind of have a soft spot for all of the shows that was made by that animation company. You know the one I'm talking about, the one that made Rugrats and All Grown Up? Because they all kind of look a little similar, because the character designs are drawn the same. And some of them look ugly, like in As Told by Ginger, but some of them do not.
Rocko's Modern Life. I mean,
Got to.
we'll put this right on up here.
I loved Rocko's Modern Life. Have you watched the Netflix movie?
I have not.
Mr. Big Head's son is revealed to be trans in that movie. Yeah. So
Romeo?
Mr. Big Head's
Oh, yeah,
daughter,
there
I
it
should
is.
say, actually.
Romeo was like a live action show. It was starring the kid rapper. He was named Little Romeo. I don't remember anything other besides that. But
I would have loved it if you just said it was starring the kid and didn't say who. There's just a kid in it.
Rugrats. I mean,
Yeah, the top again, like
yeah.
much like Hey Arnold, Rugrats has a Christmas special that I watch every single year. It's this one where they go to They go to like a Christmas themed outdoor attraction thing with like a petting zoo and stuff. And like it's honestly really cool because the parents get snowed in, the babies get stuck outside, they've got to like find their parents before Christmas or they won't get to like celebrate together.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really really neat because like fucking they're they kind of don't shy away from like the roots of the Christmas holiday. Like one of my favorite scenes from it is they see the nativity scene. They see the birth of Jesus. Like over like there's a statue of it at this attraction place. And they think that the little statue of Jesus is a real baby. And they think that he's going to get cold. So they start giving him gifts. They give him like a snowsuit. They give him a scarf. They give him like a little bell they found. It's really cute. And it's like, it kind of reminds you of what Christmas is all about. Like the season of giving and shit like that. I fucking adore the Rugrats Christmas special. So chat, we were going to get off now. But since there are still things on this list, and I've now gotten enough spatulas to fight the next boss, we're going to do that real quick. And hopefully we can power through and get through this tier list before that happens.
Rugrats preschool days. This was that show that had like 2 episodes or something like that. It was...
Was that Angelica and Susie?
Yeah, they were like... I saw like... Actually, if I saw all of them, but I don't... It didn't stick with me at all.
I think I saw...
a bad idea.
I remember when that show got canceled, they took a character from it and put him into Rugrats, right?
Yeah,
like
he was in All Grown Up. I know that. I don't think he was in regular Rugrats. He was that shorter, chubby kid with the red hair.
Yeah, I think he was actually in the later seasons because I remember he ended up becoming like a minion for Angelica.
I almost want to put this in fail just because it didn't stick with me at all. That's only like...
That's fair. It's a spin-off that didn't work. I feel like that fits in the fail category.
Salute your shorts. Another 90s
that was the
show.
camp show, right?
Yeah, it was weird. It was okay. It's definitely of its time.
Patrick. Not you, Pat.
It was definitely of its time, obviously, but it was fine. We'll put it here. We'll put it okay. It was.
There were a lot of fucking shows about camp. Like
Sam and Cat.
Shoes, Bunked. A lot of camp shows. Sam and Cat. What's interesting about Sam and Cat is they took the best parts of iCarly and the best parts of Victorious and didn't incorporate them at all. Sam and Cat is a straight-up comedy show, and if you treat it like a straight-up goofy comedy show, it's fine. But if you try to treat it like Victorious had some really good episodes, and iCarly had some really great gems in there. Sam and Cat is just a little comedy show about 2 of the characters from those other shows. It's fine, but it's not okay. Great.
Right. Oops. There you go. Oh God. Sanjay and Craig.
Sanjay and Craig.
I didn't like this show.
I cared nothing for this show.
It's a fail. It's goofy.
It made me laugh a few times. But, I'm sure that there are plenty of things that suck that occasionally make me laugh. Like War.
School of Rock. Never saw this.
Again, I am blown away that was on Nickelodeon. I I've only seen a couple episodes because they play it in school.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but School of Rock was okay. I probably would have hated it as a kid though because it was educational, which is the problem.
Educational.
Well, it's not designed for kids. Like,
Right.
it's designed to teach kids something. It's not designed to make kids laugh.
You know what's funny?
Mm?
I just had this revelation. What you just said, it's like, it's very odd, isn't it? How, like, as kids, you're like, I don't want to learn shit. When you get older, you're like, I want to learn everything.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
because you do it at your own pace. It's like, I want to do it.
Well, when you're a kid and people are like, you kind
People are
of.
forcing you to. It's like, that turns you away.
I despise the American school system because, like, the American school system is kind of honestly grating and it's annoying. And when you wake up in the morning and you got to go to school and shit,
Right.
you're already starting out super tired. And the education process isn't that great either. Like the actual process of teachers teaching students. And the problem that comes with that is children begin to view learning and education as work. Like, they treat it as something that is in the way of what they actually want to do. And that's terrible. And that's a byproduct of the system we have with school. It actively makes kids not like it. Which is very unfortunate because I love to learn now. And I love obtaining new skills. But back then, you could not pay me to watch a nature documentary.
The Secret World of Alex Mack. That's another 90s live action show. I don't remember a lot of it.
Did we put it in the lowest category?
The only thing I remember about it is that for some reason she could turn into like this weird metallic goop, like she's from Terminator. See, it's like what?
I wish that's what the show was. It's just this girl and she's living out her life and also she's the T-1000.
Right. SpongeBob. Well,
-4.
yeah, put that right at the bottom. Oh.
Look, SpongeBob at its best was just the best. When you had a good episode of SpongeBob, you were set. There's a reason SpongeBob is like the biggest fucking meme now. Like, you can't even go on the internet without seeing a SpongeBob meme. Okay.
Let's see. Super Ninjas. I remember that show.
I watched that show. It was okay.
I don't remember much, but
The one thing I remember more than anything else in the world is the actor who plays Jimmy Woo is in that as the dad.
Tack and the Power of Juju. I don't remember much of the show. It was
serviceable.
it
Essentially,
was
I kind of liked it. It wasn't like the best thing in the world or anything. It was just the Tack video game characters. The problem with a lot of these Nickelodeon shows, the problem with Planet Sheen and Tack and the Power of Juju and Robot and Monster is that they aren't narratives. They're just a show that shows up and some characters will do a thing and then they will leave. There is no story. There is no, like, long-running plot or anything. It's just, you show up, you tell a few jokes, the episode ends. And I think for some of them, that's fine. Like, that's how SpongeBob was. But with Tack and the Power of Juju specifically, you could have done, like, a serialized thing. You could have done, like, a story that, like, happened over the season.
One of those shows was very weird because I remember the only time I ever remember seeing it on TV was like midnight or 2 in the morning on like one of the other channels, the Nickelodeon side channels, like Nick 2 and all that. I got a few more. What is this one say? Ooh,
It's tough with it,
Talia in the kitchen. I have no idea what that is.
I have never heard of that.
I have a feeling that show was probably like here and gone.
I don't know
Watch
if
has
this
like
actually existed.
I say
I don't
Watch
think
has
it's
like eight.
real.
It's like Watch has like 18 seasons or something.
It's still going.
Yeah, it's like the best show ever. It's like what? The
We're
Amanda Show.
upsetting a fan base.
Right.
I liked the Amanda Show when I was a kid. I'd say it was good. It was basically all that, just with Amanda as the host.
Mm-hmm. What's that one say? I can't read. Oh, there's the Loud House.
There's the Loud House. How many more of these do we got, Pat? Because we got to wrap it up.
We're in T right now, so there's. What do I see? Yeah, it goes from T, then it goes to. Then it goes straight to. There's a few more left.
Okay, there's only like
Not
2
too
or 3
many.
more. We can finish it up. Why not? I got a few things I can do.
Where are we putting the Loud House?
I would. Here's the thing. I've seen a couple episodes of Loud House. I know people really love it and swear by it. Every episode I've seen is just kind of okay. It made me laugh. It's not bad. I like the characters. I'm not gonna put it in the master category though. I think it's fine.
Let's see.
I was looking at the thing that said Gay Mundy followed me, and for a minute I thought it said Geometry followed me.
The Thundermans.
That show ran for a really long time. I think it got like 4 seasons. And it is once again a Wizards of Waverly Place ripoff. However, this one was pretty good. It was funny. It had some comedy here and there. Specifically because the whole premise is this is a family of superheroes, and the mom and the dad are like Thunderman and Thunderwoman, and they're like super popular. So their daughter is trying to become a superhero, but their son wants to become a supervillain, and he has like a supervillain who's been turned into a rabbit as a pet, voiced by the same guy who plays Fry from Aqua Team Hunger Force, and also Gazpacho from Chatter. And it's fucking hilarious. It's real funny. I think it is probably the best of their ripping off Wizards of Waverly Place era.
The Troop. Ever heard of the Troop?
I have not heard of the Troop.
Okay. The hell did I say? The X's. I remember this cartoon. They're like a family of spies.
The X's?
It's just the letter X.
I recall this.
It was okay.
Let me look it up. Nickelodean, The X's. Let me see if I can recognize this. Yeah, I saw a few episodes of this. The kid looks like a bootleg Timmy Turner. The kid from this. I don't remember it being that great, but I don't remember it being that bad either. I remember the villain being cool. He had like a red head that had like a... You know those balls that you like put your finger against and like the little lightning bolt will touch you? This dude had like a red one of those for his head. And that was cool. I'll put it in okay, I guess, because I can't remember it. but I remember that guy.
The new, well, not new. This is the CG Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show.
Masterclass. I'm not even kidding. The CG, the 2012 Turtles, fucking, it was great. Like, it really played with the Turtles lore. At the time, I was not a fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But since this show was taking the idea seriously, and it was adapting so many of these classic characters, and I was seeing all these cool mutants and cool designs and stuff, I ended up falling in love with the show. And because of this show, I am now a hardcore Ninja Turtles fan. So, yeah, fuck yes to the 2012 Ninja Turtles. I would put it in the highest category.
True Jackson VIP. I know of the show, never seen it.
Fucking... Was that the Keke Palmer show?
I think so.
I watched it. I liked it. It was not bad. I watched a lot of the episodes, so I gotta assume it was funny. I remember liking the side characters in that show. Also, it was the first show in a while that I remember at the beginning of every episode they would say True Jackson is filmed in front of a live studio audience. And that was quite refreshing to hear, because not since Keenan and Kel, I believe, has a Nickelodeon show done that, where they film every episode live.
Tough Puppy.
Dudley Puppy was a plain old mutt.
I liked it. I remember.
Yeah, everything I saw of it was okay. Of Butch Hartman's stuff, it was a less annoying comedy. And it made me laugh a lot because Jerry Trainer played the main character. Jerry Trainer really does have a voice for voice acting, which sucks because I don't think he does a lot of it.
Down to the final, few here. Yep. Unfabulous. I know the name, but never seen it.
For some reason... Dude, there's a part of my head that just kind of did a weird tingle when you said that. So I think I've seen this show. Let me look it up. Nickelodeon. Unfabulous. There it is. Emma Roberts was in this. Oh, I definitely watched this. I recognize it. But I can't remember what it was about. I know I watched this. Dude, my brain is just empty while I'm looking at these promos. It had a video game, I think. It either had a video game or they did that thing where they put episodes of the game, of the show, on a video game cartridge. They did that with SpongeBob, too. I legitimately can't remember it when I'm staring it right in the face, so I think that's fail category. I'm literally looking at it and I know that I've seen it before, but I can't track down a memory of it.
Victorious.
I would put Victorious pretty high. Victorious, I got into the characters a bit. It also had the issue of kind of going goofy. Also, they did something really weird in Victorious that actually kind of... I don't want to say pissed me off, but it was weird as a kid. So, essentially, you know how a good chunk of the Nickelodeon shows are technically in the same universe, right? The way they do this is a bunch of characters will sometimes show up as cameos. For example, I'm trying to think of a specific one. Oh, there was an iCarly and Victorious crossover, and there are plenty of reference. Like Henry Danger went to the Game Shakers show. So crossovers like this happen all the fucking time. But here's the issue. There is an episode of Victorious where they are all talking about the show Drake and Josh, and specifically a funny moment from it. And then later, in one of the seasons, Helen from Drake and Josh, who is Josh's, like, boss, she comes in and is a character in the show for a little while. So what the fuck's going on there? Is Drake and Josh canon? Is it not canon? How can you make a joke about knowing that the show exists, but then a character from that show pops up and no one knows anything? Why? Why this happen?
Welcome Freshmen. What the oh, this was like one of the first ever live action shows on Nickelodeon. I've never seen it. I just know the name.
I've never seen it either. I don't even know the name. I probably would have been a baby when this came out.
What the hell does that say? Welcome Wayne. Who?
Wayne. From
What
Wayne's
welcome?
World.
Welcome to the Wayne. I have no idea.
Welcome to the Wayne? So Wayne's not a person, he's a place?
Apparently, what? I have no idea.
Wayne is not a person. It's a people.
The wild thornberries. I liked it.
I'd put that in pretty damn awesome.
Okay, so we got like 3, 4 more. Yep.
Nigel became a meme.
Yes. What's that one? The Winx Club. Never seen it. I know what it is, but
apparently Winx Club is really good. I've only seen 1 or 2 episodes, but apparently it's very good and has like an avid fan base. To the point where Winx Club got a live action remake, which is apparently awful. I'm just fucking around and killing myself in this game while we finish the list.
Yakety
Anybody left alive in the chat? I remember Yakety Yak.
It was fine. I don't remember a lot, but
I remember it vaguely. Was it another game show?
no, it was a cartoon.
Oh, then I don't remember it at all. Green Fox Dragon is still here. And comments, yeah, Drake and Josh ripped off the Lucy show? What? The Lucy show? You mean I Love Lucy? I'm gonna have to go ahead and disagree with you there.
I like how our last 3 are all Yu-Gi-Oh shows. Yu-Gi-Oh, Arc V, or Arc 5, or however you pronounce it. I've never seen it.
I did not watch any of the... I watched 1 season of Yu-Gi-Oh, and it involved motorcycles.
Yu-Gi-Oh Zexal. Never seen that one. Like, I've heard these names, I've never seen them.
What the fuck is a Zexal?
I don't know. What the hell last one? Was that the oh wait, no.
I think the one with the motorcycles is called 5Ds.
Okay, those are the Yu-Gi-Oh ones, and our last one is Zoe 101. I never watched it.
Honestly, I watched Zoe 101. I ended up watching the whole series. In terms of like you know how Degrassi was like a teen show on Nickelodeon that was trying to keep itself seriously? Zoe 101 kind of did that, but also incorporated some comedy. Like, legitimately, there were times the show was serious, and when it was serious, it wasn't, like, a joke. It wasn't to set up for a joke. No, they built up these characters. They wanted the characters to have serious moments, and because of that, you end up caring and giving a shit about the characters, or at least I did. And honestly, even though it was about the love lives of a bunch of teens and them figuring out growing up, I fucking love the show, and I would gladly say it's either good or awesome. I'm not gonna say it's like the best show in the world or anything, but it was really good. Like, for what it was, it knew the assignment and it fucking aced it. And made it interesting. Which is not easy to do when there are so many fucking high school dramedy shows. Well, I want to get that stock, actually. And is that our tier list?
Yep.
So what did we end up putting in the master category? Jump, 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 jump. Because out of all of those are the winners.
Okay, let's see, debt safe. Let's see, Hey Arnold, Keenan and Kel,
Very worthy.
Danny Phantom.
I feel like Danny Phantom earned it.
Drake and Josh, all that.
I'm in a room full of shit.
Rugrats, Doug, Rocco, the 2012 TMNT, Jimmy Neutron, SpongeBob, Avatar, Ned's Declassified, and Pinky the Brain.
Oh, Green Fox Dragon specified. You know that episode of Drake and Josh with the where they work at a sushi shop?
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, apparently that was a inspiration. Like, apparently there's an episode of I Love Lucy where they work at a chocolate shop and that same thing happens with the conveyor belt.
Mm-hmm.
I have not seen that episode of I Love Lucy, but I will go ahead and say, unless Lucy gets stuck in the conveyor belt like Josh did, their episode is funnier. But with that, ladies and gents, we have finished this tier list.
Mm-hmm.
And I have finished streaming. I am tired now. Let's see if there is anybody we can raid. It is 7 in the morning, Pat. Can you believe that shit? We stayed up all night talking about Nickelodean. Like men. Oh, Elvish is live. Dope.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're going to go ahead and raid Elvie. Thank you everybody for watching, and tell Elvish his ears aren't real. Goodbye. And chat, even though I said goodbye, just wait this 10 seconds for the raid to start.
Always love those awkward moments. Like, okay, bye. Oh.
I clicked it, and it said Neil used /raid on Elvish Laddie, but it hasn't actually raided yet, so now this is just a very awkward moment.
I mean, it's just like...
I just have to wait here. Until it works. Oh my god, it only now just started saying 9 seconds. This is counting down so slowly. It glows. It's glowing purple now as if I can raid, but it still says 8 more seconds. What the fuck, Twitch? Now it just says 7 seconds and it's stuck there. Why, God? Can you hear me pressing this button?
Mm-hmm.
No raid is happening. Can I restart it somehow? Well, I hope the raid went through. If it did not, Neil used unraid. No, I didn't. Whatever, Twitch is being weird. Bye, guys.